is being managed in the world.
This is the Lasitolu-Kendal conflict. It started June 15, 2024. It already claimed 3 lives, destroyed homes, destroyed trust. Tensions flared again after 2 youth were killed last November. And last week, suspect Abu Tijani died at a YSDA hospital after complaining of severe headache while in police escort. Now, stray bullets are finding innocent people. Superintendent retired Peter Lenchen Tubu is the MP for Wa West.
On that unfortunate day, 3 lives were lost. Several others sustained injuries. Properties were destroyed. Relationships were strained and trust broken. The incident left many families devastated and threatened the peace and stability of our beloved district.
Away from that, the Ghana Health Service, with support from UNICEF, are intensifying efforts to improve maternal and adolescent health by strengthening support systems for pregnant adolescents through the safety net intervention in the Central Region. As part of the initiative, the 2 organizations organized a capacity-building workshop for service providers to enhance their ability to deliver quality health care, counseling, and psychosocial support to pregnant adolescents and young mothers.
The 2-day workshop brought together key stakeholders to build the capacity of service providers and strengthen the implementation of the intervention in the Central Region. The Central Regional Adolescent Focal Person for the Safety Net Program, Emma Dalalifoli, explained that the training was necessary to equip participants with the knowledge and skills needed to effectively support pregnant adolescents.
As we speak now, we are in 16 districts and we are expanding to 176 facilities, and that's the reason why we are here, to train the new facilities that we are expanding the services to, that is 44 facilities, so that they'll be able to provide quality MCH services for pregnant adolescents, so that we can have an improved outcome of pregnancy for these adolescents. Because they are new to the program, we've taken them through the concepts and the objective and the goal of safety net intervention. We've spoken about the components of the intervention as well as the importance of documentation and reporting, so that that can be a source of evidence that indeed we are rendering the services to the adolescents and we are getting the results that we need. And that can help us in monitoring and evaluating the program.
She expressed hope that the lessons from the workshop would translate into sustained action beyond the 2-day engagement.
We expect that they'll go out as a team, take care of the adolescents, do the home visiting, and make sure that everything that we have started will complete it in every adolescent to have the life that we desire for them.
She commended UNICEF and the Ghana Health Service for the initiative, while calling for continued commitment and support to strengthen the program and achieve its intended impact.
We are so grateful to UNICEF for the support. Since 2020, they've been supporting us to implement the intervention. But as they are supporting us, we are also thinking about sustainability, what we can do to help the adolescent to get access to the intervention they are receiving now if there are no funds. So these are ways that we are thinking through, so that even without funds, we can still continue to give the intervention to improve on the overall health of the pregnant adolescents.
A participant, Goodness Kofi Sosu, also called on stakeholders to sustain the intervention.
The program has been helpful since we started, and this is a capacity building training. So we are urging UNICEF to continue to support this program, and if possible, move across Central Region and any other district, so that all community, everywhere, or every adolescent at anywhere should benefit from this program.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Liesel-Nkoma reports for Joy News.
Let's stay a bit longer in the Central Region, because as financial institutions continue to embrace digital transformation, Ghanaians are being encouraged to adopt technology-driven financial services to improve convenience, efficiency, and access to banking products. The call was made during the 30th Annual General Meeting of the University of Cape Coast Cooperative Credit Union, where the head of development services at the Credit Union Association, Reverend Joshua Akwete, urged credit union members to take advantage of digital and also innovative financial solutions to enhance their banking experiences and also promote greater financial inclusion.
30th Annual General Meeting of the University of Cape Coast Cooperative Credit Union brought together management and members to review the union's performance, assess achievements and challenges, and outline strategies for sustained growth. Head of Development Services at the Credit Union Association, Reverend Joshua Akwete, encouraged members to embrace digital financial solutions as a key tool in modern financial service delivery.
At this AGM, we sought to educate members on the need to embrace technology, because that is what the world is moving towards. All the financial services that cooperatives or microfinance institutions are providing is technology driven. And so we encourage them to also upgrade themselves in terms of their knowledge in technology, so that the inclusivity we want to seek for all to be financially inclusive will go very far. Some of the things that will make it easier for them to transact businesses is through this platform. And so we have launched a number of activities and products that are technology based, so that they don't need to be coming to the office in person all the time. They can transact business from any angle.
Chief Executive Officer of the union, Vincent Yamwa, outlined the institution's achievements over the past year, citing improved financial performance and expansion initiatives.
In terms of membership, there has been a massive growth in membership, all due to the branches that we opened at the various places. We are expecting that God willing, coming subsequent years, that growth will continue to grow, so that we'll see UCC Credit Union growing from strength to strength. Bank of Ghana, from time to time, you will be tempted, as we saw in the cleanup, there was increase in the member shares. So we also have to grow, so that if there should be any change in future, we'll be able to match up with it, and then it will not affect us that much.
A major highlight of the meeting was the introduction of the union's new golden pension plan, with the board chairman, Theophilus Atram-Nati, stating that the initiative is designed to help members build financial security against financial challenges during retirement.
In terms of the golden pension plan, we know pension comes for everybody. This is a special package that we are saying that you are not going to withdraw any money from this plan until you are 6 months to retirement, and then that's when you can pick part of it, and then when you are going on retirement, you can pick the rest. We have interest on it, and that's going to be juicy and will help you to be able to live a life that is comfortable at the end of your retirement.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lisa-Lenkoma reports for Joy News.
Away from financial services, Ghana's push to strengthen food security and tackle environmental challenges has received a boost with the return of 118 Ghanaian specialists trained in agriculture, waste and environmental management in Russia. Sponsored by the Africa Agribusiness Consortium and Jospon Group, the graduates said they are ready to deploy modern technologies and practical solutions to improve food production, reduce waste and cut carbon emissions. Mavis Kabuko has more in the following report.
Ghana continues to grapple with post-harvest losses, inefficient waste management and rising environmental concerns. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture estimates that between 20 and 30% of food produced is lost after harvest as a result of poor storage, transportation and processing systems. After 2 years of postgraduate studies at the Rudin University in Russia, the 118 graduates say they have acquired expertise in precision agriculture, sustainable waste management, environmental engineering, recycling technologies and carbon emission reduction. Welcoming the scholars, Chief Executive Officer of the Africa Agribusiness Consortium and Executive Director of the Jospon Group, Dr. Adelaide Arabasian Ajipon, said investing in skilled professionals is key to addressing Ghana's development challenges.
By the grace of God, today we have 118 students, young professionals, well equipped desirous to do the work, to do the agribusiness, and to add to food security of our nation. When it comes to Roden University, they are internationally recognized for the agricultural business. Besides that, they are also good in environmental sciences, and they are good in research. So we strategically partnered with them to make sure that we are giving these young professionals the required skills, the ability to be able to come and add to the transformation of the agribusiness sector.
The graduates believe the knowledge gained will help to deliver practical, technology-driven solutions to improve food security, promote cleaner cities, and support Ghana's transition to a more sustainable economy.
I realized that upon the literature review that I read and other literature, I observed that Ghana lacked that data. We don't have the data, so we don't know the quantity of these emissions that are being emitted from the vehicles. So as a climate project specialist, we seek to help to quantify some of these emissions from the various sectors. I'm even talking about only transportation, but we have other sectors like the agriculture.
We have issues of waste challenges in our country, and we have gone to be exposed in an institution where the environmental sustainability is key. And we believe that the experiences we've had in terms of building of transfer stations and then integrated compost plants, and also how to be able to reduce carbon emission in our environment will help us to be able to enhance the goals of the country.
The sponsors say the investment in developing local expertise is expected to accelerate innovation and provide lasting solutions to some of the country's most pressing agricultural and environmental challenges. For Joy News, Mavis Kabuko's report read to you.
For the National Science and Maths Quiz. Now, after 21 fiercely contested battles, the curtain has fallen on the Ashanti Regional Qualifiers, with Tepa Senior High School claiming the final qualification spot for the 2026 National Science and Maths Quiz. My colleague Michelle Latte has more in the following report.
Let us keep the vision alive. Let us try to fight and make the strong and proud.
So this is a beautiful way to crown the Ashanti Regional Qualifiers. This is the very last contest featuring Tepa Senior High School, Mansuman, right? Mansuman Senior High School and Agogo State College. And they emerged the winners, crowning the whole Ashanti Regional Qualifiers. And they are leaving with 67 points and a massive 800 Ghana cedis, right? Cash prize for the Go Riddle Bonanza. And that is because they were able to answer all 4 riddles. Let me come to the contestants. This is the very last contest we are having for the Ashanti Regional Qualifiers, and you happen to have taken the crown, scored 67 points to go to the national stage. How are you feeling now?
We are just happy. We thank God. We are very excited. I mean, words can't express how happy we are. And this is a warning to the other schools that we are well prepared. And this year they should expect something big from Tepa Senior High School. Okay, so we should expect something very big from Tepa Senior High School. What are the other contestants? You are here. AI. You are called AI? AI. Where did you get that name from? Tell me the source of that name. Tell me the source of that name.
From one of my friends.
Okay. Yeah. So you got the name AI. Is it because of your intelligence? So as you go forward to the national stage, what should we expect from Tepa Senior High School as you step onto the national stage now?
Expect something big from Tepa Senior High School. And this shows we are well prepared and we are going to show repeat things at the national stage.
The Egyptians are back. The Egyptians, we are back. We are back.
Okay, we are so happy and so excited, and we are telling everybody they should prepare well for Tamakloe High School. We are coming this year with well prepared and with well heat.
So that's a wrap on the Ashanti Regional Qualifiers with Tepa Senior High School. A beautiful way to crown it all right here from KNUST Auditorium where the Ashanti Regional Qualifiers took place. My name is Michelle Latte for Joy News.
Congratulations to Tepa Senior High School. I'm waiting for, my school, Great Okwas. When we say Semper Primus, we are always first. It's time for business with Samuel Kojo Brace, and he's on standby to bring us the latest on the AM News.
Well, let's do some business updates now. And consumers of petroleum products will pay at least 16 cedis 97 pesos and 14 cedis 53 pesos for petrol and diesel, respectively, from this weekend. Now, this was after the National Petroleum Authority increased their price floor from selling the various products from August 1, 2026. We have details in the following report.
Based on the numbers, diesel will witness one of the biggest jumps in prices from this weekend, as the National Petroleum Authority has moved it up by more than 18% to these new price levels. Petrol, on the other hand, will be increased by more than 9% to 13 Ghana cedis 28 pesos per litre. So why should we care about this increase in price floor? Well, based on the regulations covering the sector, no oil marketing company or player in the industry should sell below these price codes from Saturday, August 1, 2026. So all the oil marketing companies would definitely go above these price floor as announced by the National Petroleum Authority. Petrol is currently being sold at around 14 Ghana cedis 47 pesos. So if the oil marketing companies should add all the necessary charges, there's a likelihood that a litre could go for 15 Ghana cedis 23 pesos, whilst diesel could be sold at 17 Ghana cedis 45 pesos. The adjustment in prices has been influenced by rising prices of finished petroleum products on the international market and the recent pressure on the Ghana cedi. The development could strengthen the case by the various transport unions to push for an increase in fares.
Now, businesses across Ghana are counting losses following Wednesday's nationwide blackout, with many saying the incident disrupted operations and cut into profits, despite GridCo assuring that power supply has been restored in parts of the country. But for small businesses, the few hours without power translated into loss of sales and damage to goods. Some experts have stated that although GridCo's quick restoration was important, reliability remains the bigger issue for business growth. Shonam Akbelo is the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the AGI. He spoke to Joy Business.
On average, power constitutes about 30% of the overall cost of production. So that any time that there's a power outage or there's an increment in the cost of power, obviously the entire production is shaken as a result. So our view is that the power outages and issue around power remain most cardinal issue for us in industry.
All right.
And that's why we're very interested in seeing this come to an end and making sure that we have a lasting solution. From we have already established what is called the AGI Energy Service Center, which essentially promotes alternative sources of power, mainly solar. Our view is that government should support us in that cause, make sure that we have enough backup from the renewable side of things.
Shoram Akbelu speaking to Joy Business. And that's how we wrap up the business update. But back to you, Nicholas Yamwa.
Thank you so much to my Ahanta senior brother for bringing us the business update on the AM News. Now, the AM News was sponsored by Palladium Residences, and you can see me in my Democracy Not for Sale t-shirt. So make sure to watch out for that conversation coming up on Joy News today from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can also join the conversation on our social media platforms with the hashtag Democracy Not for Sale on our social media platforms at official Joy News on TV on all social media handles. I'm Nicholas Ekoyamwa. Good morning.
From region to region, from citizen to citizen, one conversation, one purpose, protecting Ghana's democracy. The conversation continues from the northern region, where citizens and leaders came together to confront the growing influence of money in politics. The train now makes its next stop at the Volta regional capital of Ho, because protecting our democracy is a shared responsibility. Join the Joy News Impact Makers Foundation for another exciting edition of Democracy is Not for Sale, a regional citizen politician dialogue bringing together citizens, political leaders, governance think tanks, civil society and the media to examine the impact of illicit political financing and explore reforms that will strengthen Ghana's democracy. Expect our team of researchers between the 27th and the 30th of July in Ho as they solicit your views for a survey ahead of the forum. The forum is on Friday, the 31st of July at the Freedom Hotel at Ho at 4 p.m. It will be live on Joy News, Joy 99.7 FM, myjoyonline.com, and all Joy News social media platforms. Democracy is not for sale. Your vote is your voice.
Time for sports on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Now, the much anticipated 2026 Joy Sports Invitational Tournament is set to make a grand return on August 29 at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. Following the success of last year's edition, this year's tournament promises another exciting day of corporate sports, networking and healthy competition, bringing together components from across the country. General Manager of Sales and Customer Service here at the Multimedia Group, Max Fuga, says this year's edition will surpass previous editions.
Yeah, all too soon, most of businesses have done the first half of the year already. Some are posting fantastic results, some are posting great results, and for some too, it could have been worse. But we believe that this is a time for us to re-energize or turbocharge the various teams. By creating opportunity for them to bond, to network, and to interact with each other, unwind, and then get ready for the rest of the quarter three and for the rest of the year. And so Joy Sports Invitational Tournament provides the platform for bonding, for networking, and for relaxing. Thankfully, this year, we are going to do it on the August 29th at the usual place, University of Ghana Stadium. And we are expecting over 60 companies to register for various disciplines. And I can assure all will be participants that it will be better than last year. It will be fun. It will be exciting. We are creating various products that will bring CEOs together to network and to develop business needs and relationships. So All roads lead to the University of Ghana Stadium. Come 29th of August, that's a Saturday. We'll be there from morning to evening, participate in various disciplines. The winners, we can assure you, will have fantastic prizes. Last year, we gave out almost about 300,000 airtime to the winners of the various disciplines. We're going to do better this year. So just watch out for exciting prizes, just for not only for winners, but for participating. Very, very exciting prizes. Some may even be lucky to win weekend packages to stay in some of our partner hotels. So we look forward to receiving everybody come August 29th at the University of Ghana Stadium, Legon.
Now, companies interested in participating can secure their slots by contacting Slevin on 0242 376 445 via WhatsApp or direct phone call. And of course, registration forms are also available at the front desk of Joy FM or can be downloaded from myjoyonline.com. Away from that, after 2 weeks of thrilling competition at the Botiman Sports Complex, the curtain has come down on the ITTF Africa Youth Championships. While Ghana celebrated a historic gold medal earlier in the tournament, one of the country's brightest young table tennis prospects added another podium finish before the championships concluded. Jasmine Levy has the story.
For the last 2 weeks, this place has hosted the best youth table tennis players from 23 different countries. Today, the last match was played, but for Ghana, one particular player stood out. Last week, he won gold in the U15 mixed doubles, but today, Israel Akli competed in the ITTF Africa Youth Cup semifinals and was unfortunately defeated 3-0 by Egypt's Aser Sameh. Israel, obviously this wasn't the outcome we wanted. You did lose in semifinals. How are you feeling in this moment?
Unfortunately, I lost to Samir Asa in the semi-finals. And then I'm happy that I made it to the third place of Ghana.
Coach, this is a big year for you guys. Last week, you took home gold. Today, Israel took home third place. How does that feel? How do you feel about his accomplishments this season?
I feel happy. It's a game. You can win some and you lose some. Last year, the same tournament, the African Cup in Nigeria, we did not even get close to quarterfinals. But I can say that this year there has been an improvement. We got to the quarterfinals and we qualified to the semi-finals. But we just lost to the Egyptians 3-0. They have also corrected their mistakes and they play well. It's a game. So although I'm not happy, I want to go to the finals. But it has happened. So I have nothing to say.
And last week you did win gold with Juanita. How did you feel in that moment? Are you proud of yourself?
I'm very happy that we made it. We raised Ghana flag higher. Thank you.
Yeah, Israel has improved. Comparing it to last year, the championship, this year he plays well. But he has to focus when he's behind the table. Sometimes he loses concentration when he's playing. So we have to work on it for him.
What's next for you guys as a team?
Now we are going to prepare for the Youth Olympic Championship. We are going to keep some of the players in training camp. We are going to train them and work on their mistakes so that when we go to the Youth Olympic, we can bring medals to our nation.
Now the teams will turn their focus to preparing for the Youth Olympics, which will take place in Senegal starting October 31st. Reporting from Borderland Sports Complex for the last time, this is Jasmine Levy for Joy Sports.
To football now, and Ghana's Black Satellites kept their hopes of reaching the knockout round of the 2026 WAFB Under 20 Championship alive after fighting back to end a 1-1 draw against Burkina Faso in their second Group B match. After losing to Nigeria in their opener, the Black Satellites produced a spirited response, with Joseph Beidou scoring the equalizer to secure a hard-earned point. Let's check out the highlights. Now, the results leaves Ghana third in Group B with 1 point from 2 matches, setting up a must-win final group game against Togo on Sunday. Now, away from the Under-20 WAFU tournament, let's talk about the WAFCON because Morocco have reached the quarterfinals of the Continental Showpiece. The Atlas Lionesses, they secured a place, of course, in the next round following a 1-0 victory over Algeria. Elsewhere, Senegal, they also kept their hopes alive after beating Kenya by a 0-0.
Applause inside the Moulay El Hassan Stadium for Morocco's second game of the tournament. And with it, a chance to take a very large step towards the quarterfinals of the Total Energies Women's Africa Cup of Nations. We are underway. Draidi in the middle, still it goes, and breaking here, chance for Morocco to open the scoring early on. Well, that's a really big block from Balubu. Ninja, dangerous, Duffer. Striker goal from distance for Algeria. Michi scampers as Rowie, nice skill from her. Into Asraf. Draidi just ahead of her, well, she tried to scoop it forward to her. I think it'll stay focused on the task in hand, which is to hold Morocco for the next few minutes. Boussaha only as far as Aitel Haj Massoudi in space in the middle! And Morocco break through! But will it count? Well, the substitutes running onto the pitch to celebrate. And Massoudi buried in there. Morocco have the goal, and it was superbly turned behind. Duffer into the middle, it goes again. Wrong side of 30. Massoudi playing it in. Ouzraoui just didn't manage to take the ball. Back to her left. Options to her right. Striker goal across the face of goal. Well, they wouldn't have counted in any case because not much longer than that. Chabak. Ouzraoui. The cleanest tackle by Betty, ready to celebrate. And there goes the final whistle. And they had to do it the hard way, Morocco. Cup of Nations final in January. The refereeing team today led by Yunus Akintoye Yemisi of Nigeria. Kenya on the left-hand side in red. And this vital Group A clash is underway. And then springing the offside trap as well. Terry's in the middle if they can play it early. In it comes, lacks the power, a little deflection. Guy looking for Kassé, lovely ball over the top. Here is Kassé. Unselfishly plays it square. Can Senegal open the scoring? Oh, yes, they can. And how? Brilliantly worked, so unselfish as well. Seynabou Mbenge has Senegal's first goal of this entire 2026. To the middle from her, space and Nogai. Straight, just angled far too close to the Kenya goalkeeper. Here's Terry trying to bring parity at the end of the half for Kenya. Be very interesting if those four do indeed make it through, which other two sides join them. Striker goal this is, straight at Aouar. Playing with fire. Still Jericho. Well, Igne comes to Marion, and Marion just past the post. Down the corner by Terry. Marion looking into the middle. Get it away for now. Striker goal from distance, and Adji against the crossbar. Can Terry turn this in? Oh, against the post again. Will it be third time lucky for Kenya? It's still spinning around. Strike from Marion. And it goes behind for a corner. And Senegal's goal living a charmed life. Terry unable to control. Here's Marion, forward to Terry, who is in behind. Has she got the pace? Has she got the strength? Has she got the composure against the post again from Terry? Here's Jureko. She cannot beat Adji. Oh, what will it take for Kenya to score? Terry lies on the floor, unable to aim at in the middle if she wants to, but she's still going herself again. Oh, she can seal it here, but she can't. For a Kenyan free kick. And they have to launch this forward quickly. Well, they won't have time because the final whistle has blown.
To Europe, UEFA says it will boycott FIFA tournaments if Gianni Infantino goes ahead with his proposal to sell a stake in the FIFA World Cup. The decision was taken at an emergency meeting involving all 55 of UEFA's member associations. Also, the North and Central American Confederation, CONCACAF, they have also rejected the proposed World Cup sell-off plan. Sky Sports has more.
Bad news for FIFA, more bad news for Gianni Infantino, because today in Miami, the North and Central American Football Confederation, they're called CONCACAF, and they have 41 members. They've been holding an emergency meeting in Miami to discuss Gianni Infantino's controversial plan to sell off a stake in the World Cup. And they have come out unanimously rejected his proposal, and they've just released a pretty strongly worded statement. They're not going as far as UEFA have gone and said that they're going to boycott FIFA tournaments, but they are making it very, very clear that they're unhappy with FIFA, they're unhappy with Gianni Infantino, and they're rejecting this proposal out of hand. They say during the meeting, the membership expressed deep concerns about the lack of due process surrounding the proposal, the artificially short deadline, because all these FAs around the world have been told by Gianni Infantino, you have until September the 19th to either accept this proposal or reject it. All these FAs are saying, why? Why have you put this deadline? Surely this needs to be done properly. It needs to be argued, looked at. We need to have a proper consultation. You can't just do this all behind closed doors.
Well, it's out of the Trump playbook, that, isn't it?
Well, you said it there. I'm not going to argue with you, Mike. They also go on to say they are concerned about the absence of any review or approval by the relevant FIFA governance body. And they also say they have deep concerns about why private investment, private equity investment, as they call it, needs to be involved in this at all. And they finish off the statement by saying, for these reasons, CONCACAF and its 41 member football associations reject the proposal. They also want to ask FIFA, why can you not look at using FIFA's vast cash reserves, several billion pounds, to increase the funding that member associations get, especially on the back of this vastly successful World Cup, which was actually held in 3 CONCACAF member countries. Have people finally had enough of Gianni Infantino? You and I, for years and years, have been reporting on some of his ideas, what he's been doing, how unpopular he's become. I've always tried to be fair and impartial and present both sides of the story, even though at times it's been very, very difficult. Even at this World Cup, we had outrageous ticket prices. We had the hydration breaks. We had the Flo Balogun controversy. We had President Trump getting involved.
Treatment of Iran.
We had the referee who wasn't allowed in the country. So many controversies that we had to report on, and people appeared to be willing to put up with everything. I think now, though, we've reached a tipping point, because unprecedented for a confederation like UEFA to say, we're going to boycott all your tournaments unless you drop this plan. And also very, very significant that a confederation like CONCACAF are moving so quickly, having a meeting and then release a statement saying we reject this guy's proposal.
Of course, the proposal has received a huge backlash from the football fraternity, but FIFA President Gianni Infantino has been explaining the reasoning behind the proposal.
FIFA for Enterprise, or FFE, is actually a proposal, an offer. It's part of a democratic process, a consultation process, and above all, it is an opportunity, but not an obligation. And as I said, it kicks off the consultation process. It would simply commercialize and organize all FIFA-owned competitions, along with sponsorship, broadcast licensing, and new venture for the benefit of FIFA's 211 member associations, however, unlocking previously uncaptured commercial value. Strengthening the commercial side of the game is the natural next step in this evolution. So we believe that the FFE proposal would unlock the sport's potential in every corner of the world across men's, women's, and youth football. Well, the fans, they remain the cornerstone of the beautiful game, and the sport they watch and love will not change. FIFA obviously continues to govern football without any external interference, and the flagship tournament it organizes, like the FIFA World Cup or the FIFA Women's World Cup, will always remain. More revenue returned to the member associations means more investment in better pitches, stronger national teams, and more pathways for young girls and young boys everywhere in the world. We care about everyone.
And as I wrap up the sports segments here on the AM show, my name is Haruna Mubarak.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better. Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time.
Through every stage of life, some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era. Love was service. The silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is
ɛyɛ biribi ketewa bi na ɛde nsakraeɛ ba ɛtɔ da a ɛhyɛ aseɛ firi baabi a wote. ɔhwɛ pa ɛnyɛ dede na mmom ɛyɛ din bere a obiara ani nni wo so.
Suban pasha asiefi meso ne woso wofie.
Good conduct, great life is brought to you by
Indomie.
Tastes great.
More Kivo inside. Kivo Gari Soaking Mix. A taste of Ghana.
Now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park. Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park. Our electric shuttle pulled up and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown crane, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults, this price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Missed passes,
Bad referee decisions? Your child's grades suffer a bad match? Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-50-10175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra, Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
In the Volta region, Godwin Dogbe was known for being smallish. He was also known for being clever. At school, he regularly came top of his class. He loved reading. And in the community where he was raised by his aunt, people knew him and looked out for him.
I live a very happy life in the community. Everybody even wants to help me, even wish to be of help to me all the time. Was, let me say, I don't personally need it that time, but they want to help me because of how good I am in the community, take everything easy with everybody, live one and live. It's a happy life back then, yeah.
It was in many ways an ordinary childhood until one day, his father introduced him to a woman he called his aunt. She said she would take Godwin to see his hometown during the school holidays. For a boy who had never met much of his extended family, the prospect was exciting.
I was 12 years in JHS 3, where one day I was in let me say, Form 3A, third term. That's the last vacation for us to go and write our end of year. That's the BEC. And then the vacation, my father came to me with a certain lady that she is my auntie. I was very, very happy to meet her the first time, and we exchanged words, and then she also explained further that she wants to take me to go and meet my extended family as well, and also know my hometown, because since I was born, I do not know my hometown, where I'm supposed to go or call my hometown. So with that, everybody agreed on her. And they agreed mainly because she came with my father, because everybody know my father and then they trust him. So they allow me to follow her. She promised only 1 week to spend there. So we went there. She actually took me to our hometown. When we got there, I was late, so I need to have a rest, and I slept the following day. She took me around the community, showing me our grandparents' house, how they live, where they move from, and I was very, very happy, and I love it as well. So we are fast approaching. Our resuming date is close, and I'm like, I need to go back to go and continue my studies, and then before writing my final exam. When I was going with her, I carry my books along, my dictionary, my textbook, so that even I'm on vacation, I know what is ahead of me when we resume, so I need to study more to get the pass mark that I wanted. And then she's like, okay, so far as I want to go back, one of her uncle lives at Dambai, also wants to visit me, so like he also wants to meet me, so he's the one that will help me with some exercise book. I don't need an exercise book. So frankly speaking, I don't need an exercise book or textbook or anything. But you see, she knows what, and I cannot say that I don't need the exercise book. So she said he is the one that, so let me also go and then meet him as well. Also excited to meet my extended family as well.
The arrangement carried something powerful: trust. And according to Superintendent William Ayaraga of the Ghana Police Service, that is often where trafficking begins. A parent trusts the person bringing the offer. A child trusts the people making it. And the journey begins.
Depending on the form of the trafficking, we have different forms. We have sexual exploitation as a form. We have labor exploitation. We have domestic servitude. We have trafficking to commit crime. We have sexual. We have what we call romance kind of trafficking. It depends. When we talk about people who are recruited to voter lake to be exploited in the lake, the source communities has always been in those communities along the sea. That is Ekumpuano, Cape Coast, Winneba to up to Pram Pram. Those coastal lines. Why? Because they want children who can swim. Because most of these perpetrators go to those communities and recruit young men and women under the pretext of taking them to the city for educational purposes. They end up sending them to Yeji and 8 environs to be exploited in fishing.
Godwin's trip to his hometown went as promised. Then, before it was time to return to school, the woman suggested another visit. An uncle, she said, lived on the island near Lake Volta. The journey began at Abotwase. By boat, they traveled towards an island near Ketekrachi. They left at 7 in the morning and arrived at 9 that night. By the following day, the woman who had brought Godwin there had disappeared. No explanation, no goodbye, and no obvious way home.
So we set off the next day. And then I'm like, we set off. We get to Abutiasi. And I'm like, no, this is not Abutiasi because I've been to Dambai before for excursion to see how they use the Pantu to cross from Dambai to Ketekrachi. So I've been there, and she's like, we are going over lake, an island. If she told me earlier on that we are going over lake, because of how smart I am, how I used to ask questions and a lot of that, I will not agree to follow her because I know when I get there, return will be very difficult. Even though she will be there with me, but I will not allow her to take me there. That's why she said Dambai. But where I was that time, I can't go back or say anything, so I just need to follow her and then accept that, yes, we will return the next 3 days. So we got there, we set off from Abutiasi 7 a.m. We got to the island 9 p.m. All these hours just on the Lake Volta, moving from Abutiasi to the island of Bukulkope near Ketekrachi. When we got there, it was late, so we just need to go to meet the man that she was talking about, the uncle that she is talking about. We introduced ourselves to each other, and the man actually said that he is my uncle. And I also believe because I know no one, and then that ends everything. The following day, I woke up. I usually woke up early, even when I was, because of I need to do some morning prepping before get myself ready for school. And so I actually woke up very early, and then she's like, when I asked, I did not find the woman that I came with that claimed she be my auntie, and she's actually my auntie, my real auntie. When I ask everybody, she's nowhere to be found. Where she is, they say they don't know where she is.
The man Godwin had been told was his uncle was in fact the boatmaster, and the work waiting for him was fishing.
I can't do anything at all, just thinking, how is life going to be without her here, or me not knowing anybody here. But with time, the same day, I was able to make a friend, and then the friend told me that for me, let me just forget about her. She will not come. That's what she normally does. She bring, and then the following day, she wakes up and leave. So that whole day ended. And then the next day, I was asleep as early as dawn, 4 a.m. Then the man that she introduced me to as her uncle, the son of that man came with him in Abuja. Let's go for fishing. what? I'm like, I don't know, fishing. What is fishing? I don't even know how to swim south before knowing how to fish. And he's like, I'm here to school. I'm here to fish, not to school. So we need to go on fishing, and I just need to comply, follow. And first, I wanted to, let me say, because of how I used to ask a lot of questions and then start to get understanding of everything, I wanted to ask that. And one of the guy there touched me behind that I should know, because I will find it very, very difficult that very morning. I will not like the day. So I just keep quiet, and then we went to the lake.
Godwin could not swim. That did not matter. He was thrown in the lake anyway.
No one teach me how to swim. They will throw you inside the lake, and then they will spark the engine, and then drive away from you. So you need to swim wherever the distance is. You need to swim from that place to the next shore. Like, after I started drinking water, a lot of waters, and then one of the guy in the boat sacrificed himself, jumped into the lake, and then came in and saved me. He knew how to swim, so he saved me, and then did that. And it happens severally. If there's something happening and then you are not able to do it, or you don't know how to do it, they don't teach you, but they'll use either the paddle or the rope in the canoe to lash you heavily, or even throw you inside the dish and then drive away.
He was sent underwater to untangle fishing nets. Below the surface were tree stumps and sometimes electric fish.
When the nets tangle at the bottom of the lake, because there are tree stumps and then stones under the lake water, you need to dive down to untangle all that. And at times, you go down there, you can be electrocuted, like you can be shocked by electric fish, because the electric fish in that particular area, they are grown, so they have that kind of heavy, yeah. So you can go there and then you meet one there. If you meet one there, how you need to save yourself, and then also make sure you untangle the net before coming up. So it's like you're fighting with your boat master, and then also fighting with an electric fish under there, because you cannot come up without untangling the net. If not, you will not find it easy that particular day, and you have to remove that net before coming up.
For 3 years, from 2015 to 2018, the lake was Godwin's world. He was not alone. There were other children working alongside him, some his age, others way younger. He'd see some could not survive the life.
Some do die, and if it happens like that, they see it like it's normal to them there. The boat masters itself, it's normal to them there that this life everybody will die. So person that you just forget about the person, and let's move on with our daily lives.
The abuse did not end with the work. Superintendent Ayariga says some victims rescued from trafficking situations arrive with injuries that reveal a level of violence difficult to comprehend.
If I tell you some of the abuses some of them go through, you'll be surprised. Last 2 weeks, we rescued a victim from Wasa Abuoso, and medically, the womb has been shifted or removed. And according to sources, she got pregnant, and they gave her some concoction to abort it. And in the process, it destroyed her womb.
If you see their body marks with lashes, and then some of them, they still live with the scars, and it's heartbreaking at times.
For Godwin, food was basic, banku or kokonte, often with little more than pepper.
The feeding. If we start 1st January, we start with banku, we are ending with banku. We eat rice 25th December. And if after that rice, after that 25th December, whatever we cook after that 25th December, and we have only 2 meals, that is kokonte and then banku. So if they start that 26 with kokonte, that means you change it the next 26 December. So whatever. And if I'm saying banku, it's not the banku that you and I eat today. It's the banku that we go to the farm, we put cassava, we process it ourselves. Instantly we cook it without corn flour or corn dough. Just raw like that. Because we do the fishing, for the fishing aspect, because we do the fishing, that one is okay, but it's only with pepper. It's only with pepper, and that's how we go through, and it's not easy.
The fishing expeditions could last as long as 48 hours, depending on where the fish moved. There was no timetable. The lake decided how long they stayed. Godwin's chance to escape came from an unexpected source, the boatmaster's son.
One day, because of the trust that the boatmaster's son have in me, you are not allowed to use phone or anything that you use to communicate to anyone. So he sent me with his phone that let me get him a credit from the next town, the next island, that we have a walking distance. So I used that opportunity. I called back home the auntie that I was staying with at Binrebe, at BJC. I called her and then I told her to take pen and paper. This is not the time for how are you doing? No, she should just take pen and paper, and then whatever I'll tell her at that particular moment, she should write everything down. That's the only thing that they can use to rescue me. Apart from that one, they should forget about me coming back home. So I give her the information, the location, how you move from one place to another place before you get there. And you getting there, you don't have to come alone as a parent that I'm coming to take my son, my daughter, or my cousin or something. You need to come with security men for your life's sake, because if you come there alone, a lot can happen. So I narrated everything to her, and then she said, okay. And I told her that I will not call her back again. I will not get a chance to call her back again. So in case you don't hear from me and they are looking for me, they should use all this to get to me.
The rescue came on an ordinary day, while Godwin and the other children were mending a torn fishing net.
Then one day, our fishing net got spoiled, and we need to amend it before the next fishing. We done that, we amend, we do everything. We are on the last one. We even finished and about to set off. That's where the police, the Ghana Police Service, and then the staff from IGM, they came to the island with my photo of mine.
The woman who had brought him there and the boatmaster who had held him for 3 years were arrested that same day.
The part that got me very happy is that the woman came, the woman that sent me there, she came. She's there at that particular moment. So they just pick her up with the boatmaster.
But for Godwin, being rescued himself was not enough. He refused to leave without the other children still scattered across the lake.
The fishermen there, they want the little ones rather to do the work for them. Not because of they can do it better or they have the strength to do it, but they prefer you being 5-6 years. When you get there, you spend 2-3 years there, then you've forgotten where you are coming from, you've forgotten your parents. So you start calling your boat master and stuff daddy, mama, which means for you, that's the end of it.
Using his knowledge of the islands, Godwin helped lead the team back out, this time to bring every last child home.
So we went back, we got to the island, and we need to run to the bushes, the underbeds, and then bring all of them together. That was how come we were able to rescue all the 24 back to Ketekrachi, and that's how the rescue went.
It is precisely this kind of operation, delicate, dangerous, and dependent on split-second decisions, that defines rescue work on the lake, according to Superintendent Ayariga.
Maybe fear. Sometimes the perpetrator puts so much fear in the victim that they think that appearing to testify against them, their life may be in danger. However, we keep on assuring them that police, if their life is in danger, police will give them all the needed protection. So there's nothing to fear. We'll be able to protect them so that they are not being harmed, or there's no any kind of revenge or retaliation from any suspect, for that matter, against them. But sometimes one or two victims may be so scared that to even appear before the court to testify.
Godwin's case unfolded in waters that fall under a specific jurisdiction, one that Senior State Attorney Andrew Doji Adugu knows well. As the prosecutor handling human trafficking cases across the Volta and Oti regions, he has watched the numbers shift.
The pattern of trafficking now has reduced to a considerable level. The reason why I say so is that because we are doing a lot of arrests and we are doing prosecutions, and there's also general education on human trafficking, the source where, they usually get children or people to move onto the lake for purposes of trafficking has gradually reduced. So the source of getting children onto the lake has reduced. Also, those who have been engaging children in trafficking, especially the fishermen and others, have also received some form of education and, generally telling them that what they are doing constitutes human trafficking and exploitative child labor. So on a scale, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, I can say we are doing somewhere around 6 now in terms of the numbers on the lake.
But that progress runs into structural limits once cases reach the courts. On average, Adugu says only about 4 in every 6 arrests result in prosecution, largely due to how thinly resourced the region remains.
We do not have all the necessary resources. Even when you talk about shelter, we do not have enough shelter. I'm saying enough shelter because ideally where you arrest these perpetrators from, or even where you rescue these children from, there should be a shelter within that region. But the greater number of shelter that we do have, or the few shelters we have it in Greater Accra region, and also private organizations who have, private organizations who are running homes where we can keep those children. So shelter is one key issue. We also have a general logistical issue. You need transport. You need to make sure that you have, you're taking a whole team over there. Even if you rescue these children, what do they eat immediately? The water, the health concerns, taking them to hospital, referrals, and all those things. Those are key things to be done.
The court system compounds the delay. The entire Oti region has only one functioning circuit court at Jasekan, with a second under construction, and its first high court only recently became operational.
But after the whole process is done and we take them to court, it's also another place where we have a slowing down of the process, because the human trafficking cases will just go into prosecution just like any other case. We do not have a block system, or we do not have a specific, specific preference given to trafficking cases. So you realize you just go through the mail, just like the other cases, you're ensuring that the rights of the accused persons are adhered to. So you have adjournments here and there. And in some cases also, you do not have judges in some courts that are key. But I think averagely now we have judges in all those courts. But then it's important, especially in the OT region, there's only one functioning circuit court, that is the Jasekan Circuit Court. It is now that the Dambai Circuit Court is also coming up. But then we'll need, if you look at the jurisdiction of these cases, either the Circuit Court or High Court. And the whole of the OT region, it's only one High Court, which is now even becoming operational. So when you arrest them, you will obviously bringing them all the way from wherever you arrest them from. Let's say you arrest them from Ketekrachi and its environs, you are bringing them all the way to Jasekan. That is the
welcome again to the AM show. Wherever you are, it's a pleasure to be here. Remember that at 4 p.m. we'll bring you that particular conversation on democracy not for sale from the Volta region. Do stay with us as we all go through, thinking or talking about how we can take money out of our democracy, especially on the back of that particular ruling from the Supreme Court. But let me start with what the papers are reporting today. On the Daily Guide newspaper, front page, Adwo Safo Barry's father. And it comes with a photograph of Sarah Adwo Safo with her siblings and some of the mourners there at the funeral, which happened at Gomwampota yesterday. We're told today it will be happening at, I think, the State House. Now, Wontumi appeals on reasonable conviction, and 93 million cedis down the drain. Court of Appeal frees Sedina Tamakloe. It's on our table this morning. And government backs 5-year presidential term, 35 years age limit for president. I mean, you can file to be elected as president when you attain the age of 35. And cyber fraud rising, cyber fraud ring busted, 17 arrested. That's the story on the front page of the Daily Guide there. Daily Gist, who took $1 million bribe from ex-toll boss standing trial in US. That's the story, and that's a question that they're asking there. Zita Go's mum on scholarship awarded to minors in 2025. Appeal Court frees NDC. Okay, so that's what the paper is reporting. Appeal Court frees NDC thief Sedina, jailed 10 years. Minority slams Mahama over secret plan to sell Valco. Parliamentary Committee praises NPA's regulatory reforms. Government okays 5-year presidential term, backs age limit, backs age 35 for president. Apostle Kojo Safo funeral held despite court action. And at the back page of the Daily Gist, it comes with a beautiful photograph of the Star of Africa. It says Star of Africa goes home. Apostle Professor Emeritus Engineer Kojo Safo Kantanka. Okay, that's it there. Free Press, landmark verdict by Supreme Court on delegate system unprecedented. It's on page 4. Flood mitigation task force begins demolition exercise. And 2026 Teshi Homo Festival to be celebrated in peace. Those are the stories on the Free Press. Okay. Daily Searchlight, front page, performing to an angry public. AG claims to block Sedina Tamakloe acquittal and discharge. MPP challenges acquittal of Sedina Tamakloe. Attionu demands Wontumi discharge. Okay. Road tolls back. Parliament approves return of road tolls through electronic PPP system. Parents urged to take keen interest in their children's school selection process. Panelists call for comprehensive guidelines on digital financing in the banking sector. Okay, right. Guess. And the new finder, nobody will sell Valco. Minister assures tomato self-sufficiency target achievable according to an agronomist. Ghana records 148.3 billion cedis trade surplus in 2025. Oil climbs above $91 per barrel. Government backs 5-year presidential term. So that's from the new finder there. Let me welcome my guest, Professor Isaac Body, is Executive Director of the Institute of Economic Research and Public Policy, IERPP. Prof, good morning.
Good morning.
All good?
All good.
Okay. I'm good, I'm well. And thanks for always buying EVV rice. It's a testament of you knowing that EVV rice is the best, right?
Yeah, so, I don't know whether council buys some.
Which rice?
EVV rice. EVV rice.
EVV rice. You've not tried it? Oh, it's a local rice produced by my company, a company I'm associated with.
You'll love it.
So I'll
You've never missed it.
Oh, really?
You'll love it.
I've been talking about it on air.
Oh, no, he's never. This is the first time I'm
love it. Seriously. You have to come by next week.
Yeah.
Drive by Jolu. Give me a call.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
I hear the price has reduced.
Yeah. Say again?
The price has reduced as well.
Oh, yes. I mean, we want to be competitive.
Well.
Yeah, so, yeah. You have to pass by. So Andrew Appiah Dankwa is Director of Legal and Constitutional Affairs of the United Party. Andrew, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Hope all is well.
I'm doing great as well.
Great, I'm well. Professor Titus Biyo, he will be joining us shortly, but let me introduce Bernard Oredu. He is a lawyer and a member of the MPP's communications team. Good morning, lawyer.
Good morning, Kojo.
All good?
Can I complain? It's the end of the legal year today. And
okay.
Yeah. It's been
You're going to go for a break?
Yes, the legal vacation starts tomorrow, the whole of August and September. So, taking some break.
And the lawyers may enjoy you.
Not all the courts are on break, though. The lower courts will be sitting, but even some of the high courts will be sitting as well. But generally, it's a legal vacation for most lawyers. So, and I'm sure there's no court today because of the 150 celebrations
of the Supreme Court.
So, there's a reason counsel is in his Achimota. Let me mention that he's a senior Achimotan. I'm an Achimotan as well.
But he's a senior.
Yeah, he's a senior Achimotan.
Okay.
I'm sure
as a relative to you.
Yeah, relative to me.
I'm more senior.
Yes.
Achimota, I want one of my children to go there.
You should.
Yeah.
You should.
One of them should.
It's the best place to train a child.
Yeah.
You should.
But Badubonso is also a great place to train a child anyway, where I attended.
Where?
Badubonso Senior High Technical School. That's the school I attended.
Where is that one?
It's in Agran Kwanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Badubonso.
Yes.
Oh, first time hearing it.
Oh, really? Badubonso.
Oh, that's
it was named after our great king.
They should be very proud of you.
Oh, they are, and I'm proud of them as well, because without them, I wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
They gave me a very good training.
Exactly.
And I love it. And the headmaster now is a very Christ-like person, Mr. Edward Botts. Fantastic man.
We need such people for the children.
Yes. And I'm sure that he would instill discipline in the school. He's a strong disciplinarian, so it's good that we have him. Well, let's get straight to the issues. We'll start from the courts. Yesterday, I think yesterday was the day that Ghana had too many big stories. Too many.
Too loaded.
From Sedina Attionu to presidential, to the Constitutional Review Committee white paper by the government, to
previously the Supreme Court on delegate issues a day before.
Yeah, a day before. I mean, it was just. And then yesterday there was that presentation of some support to the survivors of the
helicopter
crash victims. So yesterday was. But let's start from the courts. Lawyer Pedongo, I'll start with you. Now, Sedina Attionu yesterday was acquitted and discharged by the Court of Appeal. Now, if you read a bit of the story, it tells you that it says the nation was divided yesterday when the Court of Appeal acquitted and discharged former Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, MASLOC, Sedina Tamakloe, setting aside a 10-year jail term, handed her for stealing and causing 93 million cedis financial loss to the state. The court, in its 94-page judgment on appeal, filed by the ex-John Mahama appointee, held that the prosecution failed to lay sufficient evidence in proving the charges leveled against her. Well, I'm sure you've gone through the
So good morning once again. Always a pleasure to share a platform with my learned Accra here. Professor Bayu, always a privilege and pleasure. And my own brother, Professor Widi, always a pleasure. He was so interested to know what my views were on Sedinham. But the truth of the matter is...
Now that Prof is here, let me introduce you. Professor Titus Bayu is MP for the people of Lambusie and the board chair for Korebu Teaching Hospital. Prof, good morning.
Good morning.
Transfer as well.
By God's grace. Apologies for coming in a bit late.
Oh, no, we're just about starting, so it's fine.
Great, thank you.
You haven't missed much.
No, thank you. That's good.
what you've only missed is that you have to buy a VV.
I attended Bedubonsu Secondary Technical School at Aguna Kwanta.
Okay.
And he's a proud student of Bedubonsu.
Oh.
He mentioned it.
I love how you are able to...
He missed the opportunity to go to Pope John.
Oh,
I went to Pope John.
Look at what he's wearing.
We are celebrating our anniversary tomorrow. so next you are invited to come and see how...
I think I have to get Bedubonsu cloth so that I'll wear it from time to time. Yeah, I'll get it when I go.
Well, as for Achimota, it's the old school, we all know, so it's okay.
No, honestly speaking, yesterday I think the legal and political landscape of this country was once again stirred by one of the most consequential criminal cases in recent history. Myself, when I heard that Sedina has been acquitted of this charge, as I was driving, I dismissed it because I thought it was propaganda. And then I had a call that...
Oh, you thought I wouldn't be possible?
I thought it was propaganda.
Okay.
Unlike to you. And then I had some calls which confirmed that indeed she has been acquitted. My most immediate reaction was that this acquittal ought to be questionable. And it was based on everything that has been said about the case, about why she was sent to court, and also her own conduct didn't help my initial reaction. Her whole conduct being the fact that she was alleged as in having sought permission of the court to go and seek medical attention outside. She didn't come again, and I had to take an extradition request and order to get her here. But you know, I would have been doing my legal training at this service if I'd jumped on a conclusion based on my emotions, because we all want to know that Aristotle defined law to be reason from passion. And so as much as possible, there's an onus on all of us, especially on those of us who have some legal training, to have recourse more to reasoning than to your emotions, than to public perception when you're considering some of these things. So late last night, around 10 o'clock, I had a copy of the judgment. And as much as it was late, at least I glanced through briefly. And my initial reaction changed. That's not to say that I agree entirely with the judgment, but largely my initial reaction, which for me was more scandalized by changed. Now, reading through the case, you realize quickly that the only grounds for why she was acquitted was not about the insufficiency of of the evidence. I think more than 70% of why she was acquitted was the court holding that about 7% of the charges were defective. And I think that we will do ourselves a great service if we consider the terms of, I think, Section 112 of the Criminal Procedure Act and Section 406. You know, I was having an initial discussion with my brother, and the fact that we are even having discussion shows that there'll be a lot to say about the judgment. But essentially, about 70% of the charges were, in the opinion of the appeal court, had to be dropped, you understand, and because they were defective. And then she went ahead, the judge then went ahead and acquitted her on the back of those defects. Now, what were the nature of the defects spoken about? Now, we know that by the terms of our constitution, where you are charging somebody for a criminal offense, you just don't state the offense that she has caused, the person is alleged to have committed. But you must go ahead and particularize the said offense. And the whole idea of the particularization of the offense, as in the particularization simply means that you must show facts which support the allegation. Not necessarily, no, that's the standard allegation. But you have charged a person maybe contrary to section so. Then, you know, under our criminal code, every offense has elements. So you must lay facts, and within the facts, on the face of the facts, all the elements of the alleged offense must show. After that, you then go to proper trial where the burden then is on you to prove the guilt of the accused beyond all reasonable doubt. Now, the whole essence of the particularization, one finds itself at the very center of the call for natural justice. You understand? Give the person enough notice of the allegations that has been leveled against the person, so the person can have all the opportunity, if needs be, to defend themselves. And I'm saying if needs be because we ought to recognize that in a criminal trial, the burden of proving your guilt is always on the prosecutor. Now, the question that I think we ought to have a very dispassionate discussion about is, what is the effect of these defects? The judge made a very solid argument that in their view, the defect did not go to the form, but to the very substance of the charges. You understand? Because we must recognize that there is also Section 406 that states clearly that where there are these errors and these effects, it should not be a grounds for why an appellate court will more or less reverse or acquit somebody who has been convicted or change a finding of the lower court, of the high court. And in her view, because...
Is that Section 406, eh?
So as you can check 406 and 112.
Yes, Section 406 of Act 30.
Of 30, and then Sections 112 of the same Act.
So it says, subject to the provisions hereinafter contained, no finding, sentence, or order passed by a court of competent jurisdiction shall be reversed or altered on appeal or review on account, A, of any error, omission, or irregularity in the complaint, summons, warrant, charge, proclamation, judgment, or other proceedings before, during the trial, or in any inquiry or other proceedings. Okay, then it says B, of the omissions revise of the omission to revise any list of jurors in accordance with the provisions of Part 5. C, of any misdirection in any charge to a jury unless such error, omission, irregularity, or misdirection has in fact occasioned a substantial miscarriage of justice.
And let's read the 112 also.
Okay, 112, eh?
Section 112.
Section 112. Okay. It's a bulky document, eh? 112. So this is a 112 of the... Okay, so I'm there now. It says, statement of charges in necessary document. Subject to the special rules as to the indictment hereinafter mentioned, every charge, complaint or warrant or other document laid, issued or made for the purpose of or in connection with any proceedings by in any court for an offense shall be sufficient if it contains a statement of the offense with which the accused is charged, together with such particulars as may be necessary for giving reasonable information as to the extent of the charge, and notwithstanding any rule of law in the contrary, it shall not be necessary for it to be... okay, I'm not seeing this well. Okay, further particulars than the said particulars.
So these are the two issues under consideration.
Okay.
Except to say that I'm saying the judge felt that, in opinion, the failure, the irregularities mentioned, were to the substance of the charges itself, and in their opinion, because it did not clearly particularize the ingredients of the charges, in their opinion, it was defective, and it had to, and on that basis, she quashed or acquitted on those charges. Now, you see, the question under consideration in this discussion is whether or not the decision by the AG to appeal the decision of the appeal court at the Supreme Court is just an act to save face. Now, you understand? And that question is very loaded. It seems to more or less already suggest that there's something untoward that is going on, and it's a case that the AG is just attempting to more or less safe is, as in we are looking more at the political side of the case than at the legality, the legal side. My personal view is, the first case we look at the judgment tells me that this is a judgment that, in all fairness, is a solid one. But the fact that I'm saying solid does not mean that it is beyond criticism.
Appeal.
It's beyond criticism.
Okay.
You understand? Because this issue that we are discussing here, clearly, the fact that we're having this debate, and I think that after you listen to my legal counsel here also, you realize that both arguments are cogent. And clearly, for me, it is a clear basis for why there must be a review of the judgment. Because if you have, so the judge made a very good argument that in their opinion, the defect went to the substance. There are views out there, very legit views also, that says that because of 406, they were not enough for her to have acquitted. Because the problem here is that immediately you acquit, now we have a plea called Otrifa acquit.
Acquit, yeah.
Now the impact or the effect of Otrifa acquit simply means that I've already been trialed on this case and I've been acquitted, and because of that, everybody is bad.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, if the issue is about the defect, you understand? And here, I don't think there's an argument as to whether or not it is true that there was a defect in the charges. Then merely you acquit on the defect. Then what it is that you are preventing, even though there was defects in there, you are preventing what's called the matter from ever being brought up.
Yeah, being questioned.
So do you agree with people who seem to say that the judges should have then ordered for a retrial on those?
No, is a good call, but personally, because in spite of the failure or defects in the particularization, they still went ahead and did a trial on those defective charges, and the fact that and because of those defects, you know what the judge didn't even go into analyzing the evidence, please, because so far as she was concerned, there was nothing to even go through because there was no allegation, enough notice, and so because of that, yes, I feel that she could have ordered for a retrial.
The three judges could have ordered for a retrial.
Yeah, you have appeal, the panel. Because you know at the court of appeal, they don't deal with. They are not a trial of facts. You understand?
Okay.
They only look at facts if you prove that there was a fact which would have been very central to the case. You did everything you could to look for those evidence. You could not find the evidence, and so you should be allowed to. You understand? So yeah, it's a very legit what's it called because of that, she didn't even analyze and rightly so. What evidence are you going to analyze when even the particulars itself were defective? And that criticism was the judge also, in a view, felt that.
Which judge?
The panel. The panel.
Okay, so the panel.
It was unanimous.
Yes.
Well, allow me to say the judges.
I want to hear judges.
And come on.
I'm mentioning him.
Once it is unanimous, it is a collective reasoning of all of them, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So, okay. So, under legitimate criticism is, see, we should ask ourselves this question. Did the court focus too heavily on evidence the prosecution failed to call?
Original.
You understand? Instead of asking whether the evidence actually presented was sufficient. Because if you go through the judge did a very good job. And I think one that we ought to discuss was also the negligence by the AG. That was, for me, that's the biggest story in this case. The negligence of because if you have issues like failure to defects in the particularization of the charge, that's very fundamental. Okay, that's very, very basic.
Okay,
but let me. I see you don't have time.
Yes.
I think the biggest issue that which is a big worry, is the fundamental lack of trust by the citizens of Ghana in the ability of this system to give justice. Yeah, I understand. Because also in the criminal trial, it's the people of Ghana that are seeking justice. You understand? And the burden on the AG is not only to prosecute, but the bigger burden on the AG is to
secure
or guarantee justice.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I do not think that I see anything that suggests that the decision by the AG to go on appeal is only because he wants to save face. And that's when you read the judgment. There are legitimate grounds which, beyond whether it will secure conviction or acquittal, will help develop the law in this country.
So you mean that? So here's
this question.
The indication of going on appeal is what?
It's useful.
It's very, very useful.
Okay,
because the question before us, the question that you asked us was whether or not the decision by the AG to go appeal is just a decision to save face. I'm saying no, it's not a face because when a casual read of the judgment, even though in my view the judgment is a very solid one, it's not beyond criticism. There were issues, and I'm saying that the fact that we are having a debate as to the kind of interpretation to give to 406 or the effect of an irregularity in the charge sheet or the particularization of theme in light of sections 112 and 4. If I can also add another section, I think 31. For me, means that this has to go up for us to have clarity as to you understand. And also, I'm saying that when you read the judgment, yes, the burden of proof, they shifted and all. Exactly. But beyond that, they adduced some evidence. Now, the judge is saying that, in her opinion, those evidence were insufficient. And she went ahead in the judgment to advise on what they could have done to succeed. Now, the question is, at what point do you see evidence is sufficient or insufficient? And finally, I'm saying that for me, the biggest issue that I find in the case is the clear negligence of the Attorney General.
Thank you very much. Thank you. When you mention the judge and she, I get confused a bit because you know that the judge who sat on the case at the High Court is also a woman.
I feel so.
So exactly. So there's a panel. Let me bring you in here. I mean, if you look at it, the judgment, they say the burden of proof in the High Court trial was shifted onto the defense, which obviously is not the position of the law.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, and the lawyers then, or the prosecutors then, should have seen it. This is the state bringing this onto itself.
To a large extent, I agree with you. But let me say good morning to you. Good morning to your viewers and my colleagues here as well. Kojo, the AG has said that he believes that the High Court judgment has some merits. And that he has indicated his intention to appeal.
Yeah,
I think it's a good call. As to whether there will be that willingness to pursue what he has said is another thing we'll be observing from a distance. But before I go into the real matters, let me refresh the memories of my colleagues here and viewers as to what culminated into this whole Sedina trial by recounting the facts as captured in the judgment. So this is what was, these are the facts that precipitated the charges, the sentencing and all that. So just allow me some 2 minutes to take our viewers through what Madam Sedina Tamakloe did or alleged to have been done that resulted in the trial. And this is as captured in the judgment of the court. So the first one. And remember that it is a combination of malfeasances, several of them, that resulted in the entire 90 million Ghana cedis she was charged with. So this is one of the instances, and with your permission I read. Investigations revealed that in June 2014, MASLOC invested a sum of 150,000 in Obatampa Microfinance Company Limited, a licensed Tier 2 microfinance company located at Ejura in the Ashanti region. Thereafter, the first accused person, that is Madam Sedina Attionu, Madam Sedina Attionu offered Obatampa a further investment of 500,000 cedis. As a result, MASLOC Agriculture Development Bank check dated 24th July 2014 in the sum of 500,000 cedis was drawn in favor of Obatampa. Please, this is where it gets interesting, Kojo. Soon after Obatampa received the MASLOC check, that is the 500,000, Madam Sedina Attionu informed the board chairman of Obatampa that investment of 500 would attract 24% interest. Obatampa decided to return the amount to MASLOC since the interest rates being demanded by the accused person, that is Madam Sedina, was too high and unprofitable for its business and issued a check in refund of the loan account. It gets more interesting here. Upon presentation of the check, Madam Attionu Sedina declined to accept the check and made a demand for a cash refund. A cash amount of 500,000 cedis was delivered to Madam Sedina Attionu by the board chairman of Obatampa on the night of 28 August 2014 at the Bachona Total Filling Station located at the Sprinters Road in Accra. So MASLOC gives out a check. Madam Sedina says they will take the check, the loan, the investment back at 24%. Obatampa says, no, we can't afford it. He brings a check. Madam Sedina says, I don't need a check, bring me cash. So arrangements were made and MASLOC money, 500,000, was given to Madam Sedina Attionu. That is the first part. Now, this is the other scenario. In 2017, remember this happened in 2014. Now, this is the other scenario. Investigations further revealed that in April 2016, Madam Sedina Attionu obtained approval of MASLOC board to utilize the sum of 1.706 million of MASLOC funds for a countrywide sensitization and monitoring programs for 85,300 beneficiaries of MASLOC. 85,000. She received 1.7 million for a program for 85,000 people. Each of the targeted 85,300 beneficiaries was to receive 20 Ghana cedis to cover transportation and refreshment. Between April and December 2016, upon the authority of Madam Sedina Attionu, a total of 1.816 million was withdrawn in tranches and was received by Madam Sedina Attionu and the second accused person, even though approval had been given for 1.7. Please,
okay,
these are the facts.
1.7, they withdrew how much?
They withdrew 1.8. Okay. That is not even the issue. Now, the main issue is here. Again, investigations reveal that out of the 1.8 million, only 1,300 was spent on refreshment for beneficiaries in the Volta, Greater Accra, Bro and Harford regions only, and that no program whatsoever took place in other 7 regions. One instance. I have given you the 500,000, yes, and this is the 1.8. I'm just refreshing the memories of our viewers what actually were the reasons why she was arraigned before court. Now, the third one. Investigations further disclosed that in 2013, following a fire disaster at Kantamanto Market, the then President, John Mahama, directed MASLOC to provide an assistance of 1.46503 million to victims of the fire disaster. The money was, however, to be disbursed through Akufo-Addo Savings and Loan Company Limited. Investigations show that Madam Sedina Attionu appropriated 579,800 out of the 1.4 million. Even the money that President had allotted for the fire disaster, she took more than half of it. Now, that is another one. Now, the other one is this. In August 2016, Madam Sedina Attionu, on behalf of MASLOC, wrote to Public Procurement Authority for approval to procure vehicles for back autos and spare parts for GPRT using the single source method under Public Procurement Act. On 5th December 2016, the then Minister of Finance wrote to PPA to confirm financial arrangements which were being put in place for the purchase of vehicles. Without any approval from PPA, Madam Sedina Attionu signed a contract with Mark Autos on 6 December 2016 to supply MASLOC with 350 vehicles comprising of 150 Chevy Aveo Saloon, 100 Chevy Spark-like, and 100 to 133-seater Izituba. MASLOC applied for a tax waiver on the vehicle. The unit, this is where it gets interesting. The unit price by Mark Autos MASLOC for the Chevy was 74,595. However, investigation revealed that retail price Mark offered for the same model within the same year without duty was 47,346. So the actual price was 47, but it was inflated to what? 74,000 per one. Okay. And we were buying lots of them. As if that is not enough. Listen to what again she did in 2016.
Alleged
to have done. Per the facts.
Alleged.
Again, in November.
No, hold on. Do we still say alleged when she was convicted on these charges?
No. That conviction is not. This is appeal. Because it's alleged, the judge would demand for evidence and for proof of these things. So the judge is, if you judgment, the judge said that they couldn't prove.
Okay. So we are saying it's the allegations because the appeal court has set aside the
alleged.
Okay.
Not okay. I'm just refreshing the memories.
I just add.
So first one, there was a check to Obatampa of 500,000. Madam says MASLOC is going to take it at 24%. They say they cannot. They are bringing the check. Madam Attionu says, no, I don't want check. Bring me cash. Then she receives the cash in person as if she's MASLOC.
Alleged.
Oh, whether alleged or...
lawyer, you know it.
Allow me to recount the fact.
Just add alleged. That's what we are saying.
In total...
The viewers can...
No. They can't. You just have to add alleged.
I'll make my submission here.
So in total, about 90 million Ghana cedis. 90 million Ghanaian cedis.
Sensational.
Allegedly was embezzled by Madam Attionu and the second accused person. So viewers, these are some of the facts that landed Madam Attionu in court. Then whilst in court, after about a year, when she had been served with the charge sheets, everything, she leaves the country. She leaves the country after the case had gone on for about a year. She's forced to return. But in her absence, the judge passed her judgment of 10 years. She comes. And what does the Court of Appeal say in this judgment? The Court of Appeal has acquitted her because according to the Court of Appeal, about 70% of the charges, especially the ones in respect of causing financial loss to the states, were defective. Were defective. Granted that they were even defective, the decision by this panel flies in the face of the provisions of Section 406, Section 112, and Section 31 of the Court Act. Respectfully, I submit it. You see, I just don't disagree with the judgment. I vehemently do so. That the judgment flies in the face of the provisions of, first and foremost, Section 406 of Act 30. That is a Criminal Procedure Act. Section 112 of Act 30 and Section 31 of the Court Act. Why am I saying so? It is very clear in express terms in those provisions that even if you find a charge defective, unless the result is it occasions a miscarriage of justice, you don't reverse a decision.
But when the lady has been convicted on the back of a defective charge,
a defective charge sheet.
Charge sheet.
Yes.
Is that not a miscarriage of justice?
No, the law anticipated that, listen, you could go through all the charges and all that, but they may be defects. But look into it, whether it occasioned a miscarriage of justice. In this particular situation, in these days in criminal trials, apart from the charge sheet that will be served on you, there will be what we call disclosures. So you are giving ample evidence of all the charges that are to be preferred against you. Your lawyers are given opportunity to be cross-examined. You yourself, you were participating in the trial, but later absconded. What miscarriage of justice will be occasioned by such conduct? What miscarriage of justice will be occasioned by such conduct? You were given the charge sheets. You were given disclosures. Your lawyers participated in the trial. You yourself, you sat through court until you told court that you had to go somewhere. You never came back again. What miscarriage is in this? What miscarriage is in this? You see, me, I fear just one thing by this decision, that it should not be allowed to stand because it's a dangerous precedent. Why? If this decision is allowed to stand, people who want to embezzle state funds will just be in cahoots with state prosecutors, charge me with frivolous charge sheets, make it defective, and on the authority of Sedina versus the Republic, once the charges are defective, I go on appeal and it's quashed and I'm gone. It is a dangerous precedent because the only reason for this acquittal of Madam Attionu is that most of the charges were defective. And if that is even the case, a retrial should have been the best opportunity for her to answer those charges she claims were defective. This is a clear case of form over substance. And in criminal trials, we can't do that. We are enjoined by Section 406, Section 31 of Act 39, that in situations like this, you should not just reverse the decision. So for me, if this decision is allowed to fester, it is a field day for corrupt politicians. Why? I will just embezzle money. I won't do that. Someone will just embezzle money.
Okay.
Get some contact person in the ages department.
Land for me.
Yes, I'm saying that if this, let me reiterate this point because it's very crucial for me. If this judgment is allowed to stand as a precedent on our law books, it becomes a very dangerous precedent. Why? The reason for her acquittal mostly is because most of the charges are defective, and therefore she's been acquitted. What will happen is that a corrupt politician would just get somebody from the ages department, bring out any charges at all which do not meet the standards as contemplated in Article 19 and all that. Then sentence is passed on this corrupt politician. Then once he's convicted, he goes to raise the Sedina case that, oh, the charges were defective and therefore acquit me, as was done for Sedina.
On the authority of that.
On the authority. So I am pleading with the AG. I know him. He has mentioned that, and Dr. Aini won't just speak. For Dr. Aini to say that he believes the High Court judgment has some merits, we are holding him to his words. Doc, indeed, what you said is true. Efia Sewa's judgment has a lot of merit, and her decision ought to have been preserved.
Okay.
But if indeed you mean war for the democracy of this country, please pursue that appeal.
Okay, thank you.
And give us updates whilst you pursue it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Rolf.
Yeah, let me say good morning once again to yourself and to my colleagues on this platform. And then once again to all Kojoba, because we are heading to Akufo-Addo later this evening for our 68th independence, I say independence, speech and prize giving day and anniversary.
So you'll be there with Kojo.
Yes, in fact, both myself and him are performing some key functions tomorrow during the event. I am happy to have listened to the lawyers before we the lay people who prefer.
Okay, you're a lay person.
I'm a lay person as far as as far as this is concerned.
He taught a lot of my medical school.
So as far as the legal things are concerned, but my appeal to, and it's not just based on this case. So the submissions of counsel educated me a lot. His submission educated me a lot, especially the latter part of his submission. It educated me a lot. I have a little challenge with the earlier part of his submission, and I'll explain it. Maybe it may not make legal sense. But as I'm saying, my general appeal to the lawyers is that they should know that a lot of us are learning from them. On any platform that they mount, for us, it's an opportunity for us to learn. Many of us cannot, all of us cannot go to the law school. So we definitely have to learn from your explanations. Why am I saying so? I've seen situations where, especially when you take the Wound to Me case, I was forced one dawn to read the whole judgment. I mean, I'd never taken keen interest in reading judgments. But I read it page for page. And then I realized that this is my opinion, it might be wrong. But when lawyers go to courts, an open courts, and lose a case, or the judgment is not the way they anticipate it, and this across all divides. It happened in the previous administration, it's happening now. They come out and vilify the courts, vilify the judgment, and put the judges in a very difficult situation because they are not allowed to come out and speak. All they have is what is written here that we can speak to. And so when things happen and we want to speak, let's stick to what the person has written, because that's, I mean, when we go outside of it in tangential ways, it's very difficult. The person cannot speak. Then the person is made to look bad. So, I mean, let me cite an example in the Wound to Me case. When I read it, the issue, when his legal team came up, they were making an argument that an assignment meant that there must be something written to show that I have assigned. When I read the particulars, I see a lot of emphasis on permitting the person to go, So if you come out and all your argument is that show as a deed of assignment. That's not what the case really was based on in there. So then
But the question people, the question people asked was that if you do that, it means that in future anybody at all can enter into somebody's concession without a written document.
Good. So that's why I was saying that. So they should give us education on that fact that for the purpose of the law, anytime we say permission, it should mean that you have a written
Prof, please, let me
but if verbal contracts and those things can be accepted, then they should also educate us. That's what I just need education, because I hear in the heading of the charge, yes, something on assignment. But in the particulars, all of that,
it's not just that.
It's not just that. Transfer, assignment, transfer, mortgage, to encumbrance, and all of that.
Anybody to deal with.
See that several adjectives are used. That is not only the word assignment. So the fair explanation of this could mean that yes, if you talk about assignment, there must be something written. But there are other things like permit, if you allow someone to encumber the place.
But you know there are several questions that
I mean, I just use that to silence. So let me go to my substantive matter. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just giving a common.
Allow Prof to go to substantive.
Yeah, my substantive matter is that on this particular case of Sedina, personally, I am completely confused. When she was being brought back, there were accusations that the government was trying to shield her. They didn't want, she was not in prison. They wanted to know where her location and all of that. Others thought she was being brought to be freed. And so on the basis of that, if we're dealing with emotions, I would not have been happy to see such a quick appeal process and all of that. Then it feeds into the suspicion people had that she was brought back only to be acquitted and discharged. It feeds that way. But that is when we look at it emotionally. So this is where I say that the lawyers should help us. So when you look at the legal argument, why I said I had a little challenge with my learned colleague's submission is that the earlier part, but his latter part is very educative. Is that you see, when you recount the case, the allegations or facts against her, when this current judgment is not based on those facts, majority of the situation is not that the judge has not said whether there was inflation or no inflation of the prices. This judgment didn't say whether she took cash back or she did not take a check. That is not the basis of this court. The fundamental thing I got, and I must be honest, I've scanned through, and there's a difference between scanning and detailed reading. Is that, as they have both alluded to here, are defects in the particulars of the charges.
But she also gave you the provision in the Act 30 that says that unless
that is those education that I wanted. That's why I'm commending that submission of both of them. That on the basis of that, I thought that from now, the argument that we should be hearing is that when there are defects in the particulars of a case, does it warrant a total acquittal and discharge of the person? Rather than the particulars. Do you get my point?
I get it.
So, because once we recount all of it, what we are trying to do is to whip up sentiment. People like, I mean, the ordinary person is like, hey, you've taken this amount of money and they've acquitted and discharged you. Was the judge thinking, well, why did he discharge you? But really, the technical basis of this acquittal is defect. That leads to my other question. I beg you, if I don't ask this one, you will have done it.
Fast running.
I know, but for instance, my next question is that what are the professional obligations of those that prepare these charges? And what happens when they renege on those? If indeed these allegations were found to be true, and the state has lost this amount of money, and you prepare a defective charge sheet, and now because of that someone walks free, what happens to you that prefer the defective charge sheet? Do you just go free? And what happens?
He walks free.
Which will be very unfortunate. As a medical doctor, if I give a professional opinion or perform a procedure that is not right, I can be charged. I can lose my license. I can be punished. So if you prefer a defective case, and that if it is true that such people go free, then his consent, his last consent, is a serious consent. Because anybody can induce people to prepare something, and at the end of the day, they'll be acquitted and discharged. So they must be held legally liable. If there is, for instance, if there's a retrial,
but that is if there's a conclusion that there was.
I'm coming.
Defective.
So if there's a retrial,
but we both agree that there was a
yes. So if there's a retrial or the appeal process comes out to show the second appeal that AG is going to, I don't know if that's how it's called, shows that yes, there were errors in whoever started the initial case. Someone should be punished.
Thank you.
My last one.
I have to move on.
I'm done. That's the last submission. Let's all agree that the AG has taken the right step.
Okay, all right.
He has taken the right step.
Thank you.
And be patient and wait for the outcome.
I'm grateful. Prof, I mean, from what you said, wouldn't it have been prudent, looking at the circumstances surrounding this particular matter? The lady was tried in absentia. She was not in Ghana. She came back about a month ago. Even in the Nsawam whole thing, there was some
in absentia. Some part of the trial.
Yeah, but she was sentenced in absentia.
Okay.
And then she came back just a month ago, and then she's acquitted. Why didn't the judges say retrial it on the ones that we feel it's defective, rather to make people believe in the whole process, that this is not just what was predicted, that she's being brought back home to be discharged?
Let me be quick to answer that, and I can have a bite on the entire discussions. And I think I support what Prof. said, that it fits into the narrative out there. The speed in which she came back and had to do the appeal. And that is the discussion that we're having here. But having said that, I've enjoyed the submissions from both lawyers. I've received legal education, and I'm still continuing to receive that. It reminds me of when I taught in primary school some years ago. And after extensive discussions on the topic, I asked the student, the kids, what's your say? One said, yet you say, I can't understand it. You can't understand it. All this we have understood, but the details have to be understood. The issue is beyond just setting up one individual. It is about the credibility of the justice system we have. For me, that's the whole concept, discussion. And the good news is that corruption fighters, and by extension, Ghanaians, we are watching, we are listening, and they can make an informed decision of everything that happened yesterday and even out of our discussions. And my issue is just on a simple matter that nobody should celebrate corruption. Let's change the emphasis. And nobody should also celebrate procedural injustice. These are two key areas. And as a Ghanaian, I won't be happy if the woman wins or she loses. No? But my focus is whether the judicial system we have, the integrity, is upheld. That's the beginning of my argument. The reason being that investors, taxpayers, all of us will lose confidence in the judicial system if cases take long time, or so many years, or the outcome of all these cases prove to be problematic, and they are subjected into public ridicules, questions. We'll have a problem. The Constitution all the time wants to ensure that public officials, corrupt public officials, are jailed. The same Constitution will ensure that individual will not also be put to jail.
Capriciously.
So that is what the Constitution wants to ensure.
Okay.
But let's come back to the entire discussion, which I enjoyed the various reminders from the lawyer about this whole case. One court gathers enough evidence to sentence someone for 10 good years. Another court, or the appeal,
a higher court,
squashes all the legal on technical terms. You and I, it's not proper to question the consistencies of the logical reasoning of this. I don't know.
Well, the reason there is the higher court, as in the appeals court, is to have that supervisory jurisdiction over the lower court, over the court that is that. Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, you can. The reason why there's review or there's a appeal is that someone disagrees with a certain judgment. You go higher to say, I disagree with this judgment. What would the judges also say? They sit down, they look at it and say, okay, we also think that either we agree with your point or we disagree with you in favor of the other one.
It ties into the preamble that we yet say, but I can't understand it.
It's a process.
Yes, a process. Understand? Look at how many years it took for this case to be tried. Funded by taxpayers' money. Investigators were paid, prosecutors were paid, all these were paid. How much are we talking about?
Okay.
It's about, how much is it? 90 million. So the money is gone.
Okay. All right. Thank you for asking that question.
No, is the money gone?
I'm not sure it's gone.
So what is the AG now going to file again? What evidence is he going to use to file?
Appeal.
Appeal for what? You see, consistently, this administration is selling an image of accountability. But bro, the results otherwise.
So the oral is not getting the results you need. Okay, thank you.
I didn't
I didn't agree on that one.
Because you said you said you are selling accountability.
I never mentioned
the weapon you are selling accountability on is oral.
I said the image. But I'm not seeing the results.
Okay, okay. Let's move on. Okay. Our time is fast one.
Let's move on.
Our time is fast one. What do you want to say?
Well, I just wanted to ask Prof that the coincidence of she arrived, few days later she's out of the woods. This coincidence is not too loud.
Oh no, but the appeal was found.
No, but you see, I complained about it here. So if you ask me that, I am concerned. I was told by the lawyers that the appeal was actually filed even before. But then I mean, if we're not using emotions. If we're using emotions, I would say even if I would were the one I even had this judgment, I would delay it. Because it's too sudden. But then you have to look at the facts of it. And that's where I said the lawyers can be the best.
Okay.
Let's leave it to the...
Okay. Let's
20 million.
No, but that's an assumption that was actually...
Go and chase the AG, the former AG. Go and chase it.
So you see, the appeal was mostly technical.
Okay, let's go.
It was a pure case of...
The government is backing 5-year presidential term, age limit for you to contest as president, 35.
Okay.
In the government white paper to the Constitutional Review Committee's recommendation. I started with you, right?
Yes.
So let me start with you. What's the highlight of the white paper actually for you?
For me, I think it's about the age for the presidency.
Okay.
And let me be quick to add that the New Patriotic Party is yet to issue a position paper in terms of its thinking and what's its position in respect of the government's white paper. But what stands out for me is the age limit. Reducing it from 40 to 35 is something I actually support. And I believe that it would encourage more young people into politics, because this whole idea of age has been used so many years to sort of suppress young people in terms of their ambitions. So even though the MPP as a party is yet to issue its official position on the matter, personally I would say that what really stood out for me as the reduction of presidential criteria in terms of the age from 40 to 35 as a good step. It would encourage more youth participation in politics. And when the youth are minded to participate in politics, at least the future is safer, because everything you do as a young man, you have years ahead of you to face when you grow. So that is a highlight for me. That as a young person of 35, with all the vibrancy and the youthful exuberance, you can one day become president of this country. And since you are going to be president for 8 years, by the time your tenure is ended, you are not even 50. So if you mismanaged, if you did something untoward, for larger part of your life, you're going to be there for a long time. Yeah. So for me, if you get the opportunity at age 35 to become president plus 8, it's 43. If you misgoverned, if you mismanaged, if you do things, if you just do things like that, you have about, if your life expectancy, the doctor says around 60 or 65 years, you have about 13 years or 17, 15 years to face the consequences of your actions. Yeah. So I believe that it is a good call, and it would inure to the benefit of the young people, and it would get them to join politics. So that is the highlight for me. But if I should continue with other, or that's just to speak on my highlights.
Or if you want to, just a minute. We don't have a lot.
Yeah, the issue too is about the presidential term. I don't agree with it, because you see, I don't agree with it. So you see, I studied legislative drafting, like writing of laws. So when we want to make laws, some of the questions we ask is, what do we seek to kill or achieve with this particular kind of law? It's a major question in the drafting of laws. So you ask yourself, this is the current happening. What is happening such that you need something in terms of law to cure it? Or what is the shortfall in this particular situation that you believe legislation is the key? It's a very vital question we ask when we are drafting laws. Yeah. So in a similar vein, I will ask, what is lacking, or what is the setback with this 4-year term, such that we should add an extra year?
But they give the background.
I don't believe so.
Because now they say that the early months or the early period of an administration is with transitional matters.
That has been cured by setting the election dates in November and not in December. That cures it. That cures it, because you see, truth to tell, if you are in opposition, you are government in waiting. The moment you win power, at least at the time you were in opposition, we tried it when we were coming into the 2016 elections as a party. We had people speaking on energy, we had people speaking on health, people had been assigned roles. So to some extent, there's a shadow cabinet. So you can't use the period of transition and all that as one of the reasons.
Well, lawyer, you have not been president before.
Definitely have not been president.
But people who have, President Akufo had same feeling, not so, that he thinks that 4 years is not enough. If I'm wrong, you can correct.
So that's extra 1 year.
No. And even I think, isn't Akufo-Addo Danko Akufo-Addo?
I don't remember.
We had a report that he also suggested, supported the argument that it should be.
I don't remember.
Even President Mahama, who when he was in opposition, also felt that the 5 year is now. I was saying that.
You see, Kojo, the reasons you are preferring, that this could be some of the reasons why you should consider the 5 years, they are solvable through other means. So, for instance, issues of transition, early election in November. It solves it, transition. For instance, if you can't do much as a president because of the 4 years, before you come into power, once you're in opposition, there's a shadow cabinet, there's a shadow government. So for me, even though the party is yet to issue its position on this matter, I am of the view, and I believe it firmly, that adding extra year will not really do much in terms of ambitions, in terms of, if the person has ambition to really develop the country, if the person has any blueprints to follow. You see, all these things are happening because we don't have blueprints. So, for instance, the National Development Planning Commission, they've been on us. Let's have a blueprint for our development. Let's do this. If we have a blueprint for development, it doesn't take 3 or 4 years to go to what the people expect to say, because there's a direction already.
Okay.
So for me,
you disagree with that?
I don't support it, because I don't think that, one, there's a need for it, and I say it won't do much.
Okay.
Because, one, you mentioned that I haven't been president before. You probably have been president. You haven't been. But you see, if you argue about time and all that, it is when you don't have clear-cut directions. So, for instance, let me add more.
But you remember, former President Akufo is regarded as one of the best.
I respect him so much. I respect him so much.
Even he, with all that he achieved, said no. He feels that they should be, extended. That would help.
That's for me. I strongly disagree.
And he has his opinion.
Because you see, let me just add one point.
Let me move on to.
So for instance, our brothers have come since 2025. 24-hour economy. We are in 18 or 19 months of the administration.
We are now getting to 18 months.
Yeah, we don't see anything.
Yeah, we are in
18 months.
12 plus
we don't
6.
really see anything. So if you allow, so it's about the willingness. It's about preparation. It's about blueprints. So for me, let's maintain the 4 years because
when he's going,
when you went to the 24-hour economy program,
it's not more than enough. Where he's going is not helpful.
I don't think
so. Rob, let me give you, from our time, I can only give you like, say, if my director will permit me. 2-3 minutes is fine.
You always reduce mine.
No, I will reduce it for everybody.
But you don't share the time.
So for me,
okay.
No, he doesn't share the time equitably.
Go on.
For me,
I should give you time. Why you want to fight me?
A few things stand out for me.
You don't share the time equitably. So you see, even you're on.
The first that stand out for me that I'm excited about is the opportunity to elect our MMDCs.
Oh, but that one I have an issue.
Yeah, I think that we may have issues with how it should be done, but both parties and everybody in Ghana agree somehow we want them elected.
But that's not how we wanted it.
I'm not happy that the very first one we attempted fell through. But whatever it is, as a certain member of parliament, I know that if they are elected, it helps solidify our democracy.
But what you're doing is that you're taking the current system that happens in the small assembly hall to us. So you are electing, you are nominating your people.
So my point, why I'm saying that it is important somehow, whether on party lines, whether as independent, whether someone is nominating them, it is important that they can be held responsible by the generality of the people. How we arrive at that place, we may have different opinions. But the final thing is that the ordinary citizens of each municipal district assembly should know that I voted for you as our chief executive, and therefore you are answerable to me. It's going to do two critical things. It's going to permit members of parliament to now have a job description. As of today, we don't have a job description. Everything is the MP. Right? Because, as I keep saying, my people in Lambu say, I am His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to them. I am everything to them. If anybody is angry at their home, I am the one to be blamed. Not anybody, because I'm the only person who came to them that they voted for, and rightfully so. So this will permit at least another tier of responsibility for people to know that if you don't do our road for us, because now, and it's particularly so because a lot of money is now going to the assemblies. 80% of our common fund is going to the assembly. Because of that, they should also be held responsible openly by the people. So if they don't fix their roads for them, do their little things for them, then the people can hold them responsible.
I agree with what you've said.
Yes.
And my question is, when we wanted to elect our people, and if you look at the surveys that I've done in the past year by CDD and all of that, we wanted a system where people, not the president nominating people for us to vote, but you allow people to put themselves up. So it means I sitting here can decide that, okay, I'm going to go on independent in a Hunter West.
So there's a good aspect of that, but there's a bad aspect of that.
Which is?
See, the current structure of our democracy, certain things we are asking for, I don't think our systems are matured for that yet. Imagine you being in a constituency where you have an opposition MP, you have an opposition DC winning by competitive election. Do you honestly think that things will be perfectly well for the people there?
Yes, you said. No, it means that now the MP will have a job description.
Good.
The DC or MC will have a job description.
Yeah.
The MP's work is going to make laws for us.
Good.
You campaign on that, I'll give you representation in parliament over for you. The DC is coming with development. He controls the resources.
I wish I had the liberty to speak freely like you speak, but I can't. Just to let you know that there is a written and unwritten part of what we are experimenting as democracy. I'm telling you, with my experience in democracy, that if you ask, he is also, all of us are, I mean, if we be frank, if you are an opposition MP, what is happening in your district. There are issues. And to couple that with you having an opposition DC, and we are extending the tenure to 5 years, it will possibly mean that for a period of 10 years, a particular locality may not get as much progress as they should get. That's the summary of what I would say. So there is a good reason why the district chief executive, who is a direct representative of the president, there must be someone that the president nominated. There's a good reason. We can argue it all out. Because he represents the president more than me. I'm not a representative of the president in Lambuse. The district chief executive is carrying an executive instrument issued by the president, and he represents the president. So imagine that you have somebody in opposition who doesn't align with you, representing you. Let's think about it. There are merits and demerits. So as I said, when we sit down and think through it.
So you three of you, because the president will
very fair point. You look at
the president will nominate 5, yes, and then they will vet and bring 3. So when 3 people from the same party go out there, to campaign, and you're campaigning each other, and then you say what? You say happy and bomb for it now.
At the end of the day, 4 or 5 people campaign for party chairmanship of the same party, and they still
but it's to a small people. This one you are campaigning to all of us.
Very sweet, maybe to
the mounting campaign platform.
No problem. Let me go to my other point.
The 3 minutes.
No, so please, that one is good for me. The second one is that the capping of the ministers, I also think is good. I won't belabor that point. I think that we have experimented for these 4 years with 60 ministers, at some point running with less than 60, and the country is running. I think capping it is very helpful so that we don't have any situation where anybody feels like increasing it. The other one that stands out for me is the parliament, that they should cap it to prevent any further expansion. And more interesting for me is the fact that they are saying we should cap it at 300. Why are we capping at 300? They think that we should not elect any new MPs, but we should have a representational system. I have consistently argued that a representational system in Parliament, in the Assembly, is the way to go to ensure that our democracy is enriched. I could wish that at the various local assemblies, we have representatives of unions like the bar, we have representation of lawyers, association of engineers, and all those people at the assembly being nominated there. I wish that it will strengthen what happens there. So in Parliament, we've been talking about gender equality, all of that. If you go to other parliaments, in Kenya, for instance, they elect their county reps, but they have a position that is reserved for women, for each county. So only women can contest that. I don't know how they're going to do it with this. So one could be, for instance, that we have a women rep per region. So in that particular one, only one woman will be elected. That is one way. It can be an election, all right, not subject to nomination, but no man can contest for that. That then makes sure that we can get the representation that we want. If we want a representation for persons with disability, nationally or whatever way, we elect the person. My last... the way you are looking at me, I can see that you're telling my time is up. I support extending the duration of the presidency. I differ in opinion from my colleague here. And my reason is that if he has aligned very good reason, the question is that if something is not broken, don't fix it. I feel the current system has challenges. And I can see why the president's past may also have that assertion. Why am I saying so? If you look at it, when the president comes in, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is one of the most prepared presidents we have had, because he's been vice, he's been president, he's gone into opposition, thought through and come back. And he did his best to do quick appointments. But even that, your government is brought into full swing and running in about 6 months. Now, your last 1 to 2 years is all politicking. And again, you don't have focus to run. So I will see this additional year to be a year that allows for the whole process of us restarting the process of getting a new president. You can differ in opinion. You differ in opinion, but I just think that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just shaking my head. But the last 3 years could also be for politics.
No, but I think that if our structures were such that, I keep saying that, you see, something that we are running ahead of ourselves. We do not have properly set up systems yet. I studied in a country where after election, for 6 months to a year, they could not get a prime minister. But the country was running seamlessly. There was no problem at all. Imagine in Ghana that we finish an election, we don't have a president. What will happen? So I'm just saying that, given that additional year, And giving a particular president, if he's fortunate by the people to be given 2 continuous terms, 10 years, should be good enough for you to make any meaningful change. But to shorten the term, we will need one critical institution, which is the National Development Planning Commission. As of today, I don't think that institution is playing the role it's supposed to play. If it were, even 3 years would be enough. If it were that we have a blueprint that the nation, we are going this way, you cannot deviate. If we have decided that we are fixing all our roads in the next 5 years, each year we are devoting this percentage of the budget to fixing roads, nobody can change that, then 3 years as a president is enough. But in the current system where we have, where the National Development Planning Commission, its independency, it's looking like a political system where people appoint the commissioners to the place and all of that, and what they bring doesn't appear binding on the parties. We have a challenge. But we need to fix that system. Then we can have shorter term. I don't have, but in the current system, I prefer long.
Let me ask Prof one question. But these deficiencies should not warrant additional term. It can be fixed.
We've not fixed it in 32 years. Yeah. So I think that let's bring the additional term.
We can experiment this for some time, then we'll come back.
Yes.
Constitutional reviews are very important, and the exercise they conducted, good one. We are flagging the major issues that we have there. If you look at the age limit, you can have someone who is a grown-up who can also reason of things well. You can have a young guy who's also very sharp and good. So I don't have an issue with the age bracket. But my issue is also the same, the 5-year term. You know, per the argument, 6 months to appoint your appointees, and then have 1 year for elections and 2 years for active administration.
Yeah.
But in Ghana, right after election, we start politics. We start election issues.
They don't even give you breathing space.
Right after election. The politics starts. So that the basis.
You are thanking
for me,
somebody's campaigning against
agree
already.
I don't agree with the 5-year term.
Okay.
Would this be? Are we going to have a national referendum on this decision?
Yeah, I think if it's the entrenched positions, they have to do referendum.
They have to do.
Yeah, I think this is entrenched.
An implementation. The AG says there will be an implementation committee.
Yeah,
he will set up an implementation committee. So let's see the workings.
But my understanding is that they've categorized it, just to answer your thing, into 3. And the first one is those that are entrenched that require referendum. They've stated clearly that one cannot be done now. Exactly. But we have to look at the budget and all of that, and whether there's mass acceptance before you go to the referendum and fail. The second one is a set of things that do not require 2/3 majority, and we have that in Parliament. And I think we can even build Parliament.
So
push that.
Which are those?
No, so that one, it will take the lawyers to let me know. The lawyers have to confirm what are the things that are entrenched in the Constitution. I don't know.
But when it comes to the tenure, it's not entrenched. At the tenure of the president.
We'll have to confirm.
These are factual issues that...
Prof is making a very solid point.
So allow
Prof, because he's on my side.
I don't want it to go to the... We are yet to get no.
Prof, you've made a very good point.
Yeah, we need to find out. But the timing, for me, a bit suspicious. Although this administration is not immune, it's not part. But is there anything that we are foreseeing the years to come? I don't understand this whole discussion. Find or get a president who is not performing. Or a corrupt president for 5 years.
Nebu.
For 5 years.
Like Nebu.
What happened? A government who is not performing.
You have to be careful. The man is talking.
You know, you're referring someone to Nebu.
I don't know. Prof, you're making a very good.
To have.
Probably an excellent point.
Who is not performing and is corrupt
or sleeping on the job.
Or sleeping on the job. For 5 years, to sit and wait for him for 5 years, we are finished. We are finished. It's a serious issue. Because
that's the only effect of it.
6 months administration, we can clearly see an intention of an administration. 6 months.
That's true.
We should know your intention.
Yeah, even 3 months.
Because you have your manifesto. You have programs.
So the presidential term is entrenched.
It's entrenched.
Yes,
yeah, so then that one.
And then it will require a national referendum.
So we have to go to
that one. So it won't happen now.
I don't think this.
No, we have to.
It's not even necessary. Honestly.
So this discussion for me,
let's build
a review.
Yeah.
But the point is that it tells you,
I think
when you are coming,
DC election is not entrenched.
As a president or in administration, please prepare.
Yeah.
Prepare well. Let your manifestos guide you on what you want. Because that's why you stay in opposition and prepare.
Prof, let me help you.
But when you come in,
when President Akufo said it, I am seeing it, and all people who have handled power will tell you that what you see when you are outside, when you get in, is a little different.
But at least other jurisdictions, they practice the same thing.
It's because the systems are
Prof. So let us
let me ask Prof a question. Prof, is that why till today we're not getting any way forward on the 24 on the 1, 2, 3 thing?
24 hours.
Because a lot of my colleagues are unemployed. That's what we are looking for.
I want to go there because we have made significant progress in 24 hours. We've been able to pass a law to establish the
133.
See, one of the challenges my colleagues had, flagship programs like free primary healthcare, free secondary school, and the rest, Agenda 1.1, many of them, or 1D, 1F, all of these, some of them, there was no proper policy document. Those are required legal framework. It was not done.
But
anyway, so we are setting the proper structures.
133.
I'm happy to discuss.
We have to discuss it. Okay.
I'm happy.
Okay.
Call me.
Somebody continue. I will.
You start my talk with about 24 hours.
Sorry.
So I think I'll allow. But just our would-be administrators prepare.
They have to
For me,
prepare.
it's not a question about the years.
Okay. All right.
If it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't waste our time on someone.
All right.
You're going to spend money if you have to do national.
No, we can't even fix it immediately.
I don't think so.
Once it's entrenched, don't
But
worry.
let's have a mental picture that if you have a corrupt president or a non-performing president to stay for 5 years.
No, but if Parliament is empowered, we can remove a corrupt president.
Oh, Ghana here.
No, we can't.
No, in Ghana
It won't happen. The president will definitely have majority in Parliament.
In fact, on the issue of the tenor, I think based on the experience over the past 8 years, imagine Anado had an extra
please.
5. Let me land. I'm not opinion. Our opinion. Why would you stop this. Accra, stop this. Accra, stop this.
If you don't
Accra, stop this. No, but why should I come here and if I'm not allowed? Listen. Accra, don't come in. Imagine. I'm going to imagine. No, come in. Imagine.
He wants to imagine things.
Allow me to speak.
Let him finish.
When you veer in 24 hours,
don't be the chase.
No, listen.
Let him finish.
We know where he's going.
Yes, allow me to land. This is a free country. I have a right to an opinion. I said, imagine that Nana Akufo-Addo had 1 extra year. In fact, 2. Imagine. Imagine he had 2 extra years.
But
he slept on the Star City. This is the man who told us that good to me, Akontam mining is not involved in any kind of thing. No, these are facts. These are facts.
You need to restrain.
These are facts. These are facts.
You need to restrain.
These are facts.
It's also factual.
I don't interject. When you're speaking, I don't interject.
Hold on.
Can you bring me here and then prevent me from speaking my mind?
Hold on.
I'm getting angry. I came here to speak my mind.
It's freedom to speak.
I'm free to speak, and then you say what? I can't speak what?
No. Hold on.
No. Listen. I take strong exceptions. Listen, I have a right to speak. I have a right to think. I have a right to an opinion.
Nobody has stopped you.
But he's attempting to stop.
Kojo, allow him.
You can disagree. You can disagree. I take strong exceptions.
You can have the freedom to speak.
Even if you know what nobody
speech is up to you.
Listen, I'm saying that I agree with the 4-year term, and I agree with Prof's concern. I'm just asking Ghanaians. Imagine Nana Akufo-Addo had an extra year, or even extra 2 years. The damage would have been in.
But let me ask you a question.
Appointing people who were known to be MPP people onto the EC, attacking our institutions. of governance.
Hey.
Imagine you had 2 extra years.
Which institution? Is it all? Which
institution? EC. I'm telling you that this is the president who appointed people who were perceived. And see, when it comes to governance and when it comes to some of these issues, see the burden on you. But please allow me to speak.
But why? We are having a conversation. Why don't you want to be asked the question?
Ask.
But do you know somebody would also say to him, his best president is Akufo-Addo, and a 2-year for him would have been good for him.
No problem, but you're asking me of my opinion.
That's why he's saying imagine.
For my opinion. So call that person ask that person for their opinion. Okay. But you're asking me for my opinion. So feel free.
Okay.
Feel free and ask people for their opinion. I'm speaking about my opinion, not somebody else's opinion.
Okay.
And I'm saying, per my opinion, imagine you had Nana Attionu, aka Nebu.
Oh no. Nana Attionu
has he ever been called Nebu?
AK, what's the meaning of AK?
But
AK is
okay.
When I'm giving myself that AK, you don't give me.
Granted. Imagine Nana Akufo-Addo being given 2 extra years. Disaster. Now, 2
for free education.
2 disaster. That's opinion. You have keep your opinion. Okay. You brought me here to speak my opinion.
Yeah.
2. You see, on all these issues you have spoken about. And my brother here asked a very good question. He did legislative
your schoolmate, right?
And my brother, except that he should not attempt to gag me.
Just gag.
But still, he's still my brother. I'm saying that.
So calm down.
I'm saying that. I'm very calm.
Calm down.
I'm very calm. I'm saying that he's my brother. Exactly.
He was a brother.
Your brother is too hard. Listen. I'm saying that. Take your time. That is. I'm saying that all these issues.
But there are several other issues on there. Why don't you go there?
I'm going. I've finished my first issue.
Okay, so go on.
My first issue is 4 years. I agree with him. 4 years. Second issue, that he made a very good point that when you are drafting laws, the key question you ought to ask yourself is, what problem am I solving?
Clarification.
Now, my personal view about this constitution amendment is, in my opinion, that is not the problem hindering us.
Okay.
The problem hindering us is a fundamental lack, you understand, of failure on all of us, all the leaders, all of us as politicians, to create the right political culture. Because without the right political culture, no matter how strong your constitution is, it won't work.
And strong systems.
No, I'm coming. So it's not part of the constitutional culture I'm talking about. Because, you see, my brother talked about the, what's called?
National
agenda.
Okay.
Our constitution has an agenda.
Yes.
How many constitutions have you read in this world that has a directive principle of state policy? And even though it is not justiciable, it's been held not to be justiciable, it sets a clear agenda for all of us.
That's true.
You understand? 2, about the political culture. Because we have a situation where we say, our constitution says that we want accountability. Our constitution says that we want rule of law. Our constitution says that we want our political party should be guided by fundamental constitutional principles. And chief among them is an understanding that the principle of universal adult suffrage we ought to implement that. And yet when these issues come up quickly because of a fundamental flaw in the constitutional culture in this country, you find people, in spite of what the constitution is saying, making decisions based on their partisan considerations. Understand? But it will happen because we've never had a leadership that felt that, listen, I have to give leadership that alters the culture of my people. Because when you go to all the other democracies, and here there's a huge misconception, as if democracy, half Africa, democracy came late. No, democracy became entrenched after the Second World War. Even in Western Europe, they started proper democracy after the Second World War, around the same time when we also started democracy. Now, but what's the difference? In most of these democracies, there are systems, like you are saying, very solid systems. For real governance happens at the local level. The executive concerns itself, 1, with foreign relations, and 2, defense. And that's why you could have a country where for 6 months there was no prime minister. And the system was running. We have a country where we have not created any system. There's no system. Everything depends on the whims and caprice of the president. You don't run a country like that. So we can amend the constitution. We can give it that 5 years or 3 years or 7 years or 8 years. Unless and until we deliberately create the right constitutional culture, the right political culture, all these talkings and amendments will come to naught. Because for crying out loud, you have a parliament where even though the constitutional principle, which is, we have a democracy which is constitutional in nature, and then the idea is that, listen, let us create a system that will limit the powers of government. And yet we have a situation where largely the party that sponsored the president, the other party, most of the time, almost invariably, apart from just the last term, also have the majority in parliament. What do? Are they able to serve as a check on the executive? No, they are unable to serve as a check on it. All they do is to just rubber stamp anything that the president define one of the fundamental purposes for why we took our constitution, which is to create a system where we can check the powers of government. And that this is happening because we've never had leadership that will create right, constitutional, and political culture. The problem is our culture here. The culture here is bomb. You understand? Because we all know, this is not something that is special, that real governance happens at the local level.
Yeah.
Why is that? When you go to the country that we all go and we take pictures and we're all happy. We look at my view on the video. Why? Because the real development happens at the local level.
Yeah.
And they have the power of fiscal, they also have fiscal policy. They are able to, their property rates, who takes it? That doesn't go to central government. No. To the extent in some of these countries that we are all proud and we all want to go, even issues that borders on the education at the local level, they take control of it and the health there. That's what I'm saying that, listen, the real challenge is to create the right systems. The real challenge is to create the right political culture. When we do that, then who becomes president it becomes inconsequential, really. It becomes really inconsequential because you have a system that can run without a president per se. And all these things that we are saying, as whether we should elect DCs or MCs, whatever it is, you can make solid arguments for whichever system you want. But the point is, unless and until we get the constitutional culture and the political culture and all this I'm saying,
but how captured get it? How can we?
We can. It is captured in. That's why this constitution is one of the strongest constitutions. That's why the constitution created the NCE, National Commission for Civic Education. Because you create that culture by proper education, and if it should find itself even in your curriculum. That's why, and also the media. Because when you talk about and the political parties, because when you read Article 55 of one of the critical functions of the political party is in the dissemination of information, is about creating these cultures I'm talking about. You understand? Because we want to sustain democracy. How can you sustain democracy without the right constitutional culture, without the right political culture, without a proper civic system? I'm saying the constitution made
doing the delegates.
We will get there. So just to learn, but the constitution made provision for that. How many constitutions will create National Commission for Civic Education? The point is, what is our commitment in activating that? But I don't know what is National Commission for Civic
Education.
I
think one small challenge I find with all of this, with what he's explaining, is that it's a concept in the type of democracy we have adapted, where the three arms of government are supposed to be independent and serving as check on each other. Somehow, by the very way we've set it up, the executive has an overreaching arm on all sides of it. And I would say that if you go back to, it's Professor Frimpong Boateng that brought this Bible quotation to my mind. If you go back to it, it's like we make our president God. Because in the Bible, it is only the Lord who is judge, which is judiciary, who is the lawgiver, which is the parliament, and who is king, which is the executive. Only God that is giving all of that. We have decided that we should separate this. We have a judiciary that's different, the lawgiver, parliament, which is different, and then the executive that is different. But we have made decide that in all of this, one person is appearing to be appointing somehow.
Everyone. No, that's why I disagree. Yes. Because even appointments, the president does not so much to just appoint. The president is subject to approval elsewhere. Yeah,
but those approving systems are secondarily somehow controlled.
But you don't get in. I get, but it comes down to the same constitutional culture I'm speaking about.
Yes.
Because if you have the right constitutional culture, where parliamentarians, like you rightly said, know their and respect and are fidel to their power. Listen, they do not just be rubber stamping. And I'm saying that we have failed. For me, that's the bigger issue.
How do you correct it?
That's what I'm saying.
It's not by extending 1 year.
No, not the year. But can we make some change in the constitution?
No. That's what I'm saying. The constitution itself, this constitution, is one of the few constitutions you find that the constitution has created an NCCE.
The point is also that how do we create this culture you're talking about?
Yes, that's my question. I was coming to that.
Okay, so let him land.
I'm saying that the constitution recognizes that we cannot sustain this constitutional democracy without the right constitutional culture and the right political culture. So this constitution, unlike any other constitution I've seen, created the NCCE. Yes, because this culture is culture that's elsewhere. It's not like it's never been done. It's been done in so many jurisdictions. Our constitution recognized that they were able to do it because of education.
Yeah.
And not just educating mass English, but also civic education. Making people understand their rights, their obligations, and also the need for the sense of patriotism. I'm saying that in Ghana, we've not shown commitment to the functions we give NCCE. Yeah, you understand? 2, the media. 2, other group.
Joy is doing their best.
They are doing their best.
But democracy is not for sale. It's an example of civic education.
You understand? But the media also, and also the political parties themselves, and ultimately the political institution, the president, the people with proper power. Because we shouldn't limit the functions of the executive or the people who rule to just have built this road, have done this. Because mind you, in Singapore, one of the critical things that the Singaporean president, who transformed Singapore, did after they were sacked out of Malaysia and they were crying, people predicted that Singapore would die, was to create the culture of meritocracy. Singapore didn't just develop because they were throwing money, but they deliberately also created a culture, the culture of meritocracy. So when you read the story of Singapore, one of the biggest reasons given to the success of Singapore against all odds is the fact that they created a system that was based on merit.
So I'm
saying that we can create a system.
But they got it right from the beginning.
Have you followed Singapore?
When they started?
No, because Singapore started.
Yes.
They were part of Malaysia.
Yes, I get it.
Yes.
But when they came on their own, independent, that's the argument you're making. And I'm saying that they got it right from the very beginning. We have done over 30 years now. How do we go about doing it?
Listen, we can do it. So you take America. When America started, powerful America, up until 1965, America wasn't doing too well. They had to contend with slavery and all those issues. But there was a point in time where they said, listen, we can't go on this way. We need to stop and create a new.
So that decision is who's to make?
The people, the leadership is ought to be led by a leader. You understand? So you can have a leader. It could be John Mahama. It could be Akraya when he becomes president. It could be.
We have time.
That's why in our GTP, one of the critical pillars was in changing the mindset of the people. It was because we shouldn't reduce leadership to. We shouldn't reduce leadership to. I've built road here. I've built hospital here. It's important.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that the deliberate attempt to build the right political and constitutional culture, which obviously has to be led. Somebody has to lead it. We must have a leader that understands, listen, we cannot succeed unless we change the culture and take steps. As I'm saying, this constitution gave us that leadership because it's a rule of law. The constitution rules. The constitution created the NCCE. But we, the people who are supposed to apply it, what commitment have we shown to that agenda? So we are just there. We are just...
All right.
A quick one.
All right. It should be just like 30 seconds.
No, yes, a quick response to my brother, Mr. Pierre Damka.
Yeah.
For some of us, Nana Addo remains one of the best things that ever happened to this country. In terms of decentralization, it was his idea that some of the regions ought to be split so that true development will go to the people. That alone has really helped for many homes, but for his brilliant idea of ensuring that every child of school-going age should experience secondary education, most homes wouldn't have had a secondary school graduate. So for most people, for majority of us Ghanaians, we hold him very high. And imagine if this man had had 2 extra years, Ghana would have been at a perfect place. It was under his leadership that we rode through the incident and predicament of COVID. And it was the management was one of the best. So you cannot say that Nana Addo is one. No. I strongly disagree, and the verdict is out there. That's what I'll say.
Okay, thank you. We need to talk about something, but let's do the but yeah, the delegate is very, very important. But let's do the budget. But before then, this one says, let me try here. Kojo, pursuant to the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act, technical defect in a charge sheet ought not to vitiate a conviction where sufficient evidence has been adduced to establish the offences. The pertinent question, therefore, is whether there was a substantial miscarriage of justice
warranting the overturning of the conviction. Is this the reset we were promised? To acquit Sedina, notwithstanding the substantial evidence led against her, appears to be part of a carefully orchestrated playbook. Amazing convictions. Manche Bruce II in Takoradi.
Very succinct.
This one says, good morning, Kojo. Abdul Ganiyu Mankrigu from Asabara region. I personally don't trust the Attorney General in this matter. He speaks as though the issue in contention came as a complete surprise, which I find difficult to understand. It also raises legitimate questions as to why the Deputy AG, who is usually present in court for similar cases, was absent this time. It is both disappointing and concerning. To many observers, this appears less like an anti-corruption drive and more like an operation release all NDC looters. Okay, but Prof, let me bring you in. Let's do the. Why?
Now, I wanted to ask the lawyers here.
We don't have time.
The recommendation to split the Office of Attorney General from the Minister of Justice.
Well, I think it's a long-standing request.
Yeah, but it didn't come out as.
Okay, anyway.
We've spoken about it.
So we like it. We like it. Thank you.
Everybody. Let me bring in the minority is raising concerns, are raising concerns about the budget, the media review that the finance minister did. You are a finance person. Yeah.
Budget again.
Yes, maybe this week will be used to clear the budget saga and all the debates about the budget. Where the government performed, we have given credit and credence to those achievements. Where we still need an improvement, we have talked about those ones as well. But maybe my challenge from the beginning when the budget was read was on the loud promises, which have become silent whispers. That have been my challenge. You know, when funds are given to people to perform a task, you give an account. And when you are giving an account, you must give the entire picture of the account. I've been wondering why the government failed to focus or give an account of the key flagship programs. Prof, I'll come to that.
Prof can't wait.
The 24-hour economy. One key flagship program, the Akufo-Addo key flagship program. In fact, all the debates I heard so far from the majority and from the other spokespersons, we are eliminating waste in the system. So there's a reason to cut down our expenditure. That's fine. You underperform on the revenue target by 1.3 billion. You then cut your expenditure by 31 billion.
Yep.
It tells you it was a deliberate reduction of your expenditure.
Rightly so.
And your refusal to give an account of major flagship program. If you want to eliminate waste from the system, and that's the reason why you cut down your expenditure, I understand. But tell us, what is so wasteful about investing 245 million into a project you don't give an account? You invest 110 million into a project you don't give an account.
Which project?
No, I'm talking about Akoko.
I just want him to be.
Akoko. Yeah. 110. Then 445 on the this project. I mean 450
million
on Nkoko. Then 110 on. So when the time comes,
the 110 is
110, I think, was on the 24-hour economy.
Okay.
So when you are given an account and tell me you're to cut down waste, we expected the minister to provide an account.
Okay.
But the other thing that they also talked about, that we have saved an amount of 4.15 billion. I think you heard that. I have been on other platform and I've critiqued that. You cannot tell us you saved. The best you will tell us you didn't spend beyond that money.
Okay, all right.
Because savings should accrue something to you. You should tell us where you invested that money into.
Make those
and nothing.
Okay.
So I said, the loud promises have become the silent whispers, which I have a concern.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Our time is up. I'm told we have other things we need to do.
Oh, okay.
You want to respond? Okay,
yes.
You can respond.
I mean, the quick one I would just say is that I appreciate, it is something common to all of us in academia, the intellectual freedom to be able to speak based on what you know.
Oh, no, you add that.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming. So we are entitled to that.
Of course.
And so I'm going to express a slightly different opinion. And my opinion is that if you look at the summary of all of this budget, I see is a finance minister that demonstrated a lot of prudence in spending, right? He inherited a situation. He fixed that situation. And he's talking about where are the savings. If you have projects that are yet due and you are already making savings towards that project, right? For instance, Accra-Kumasi Expressway, a flagship government program. He has already put money in an account at the Bank of Ghana for that project. If you take the debts that we have accrued as a nation, he is saving to make sure that we can pay those debts when they are due.
Okay.
So what I say is that the tag people have tried to put on the finance minister, which is that he is not spending, and for that matter, government is not spending. It has no basis. You spend, if you are prudent as a father, you spend based on what you have. You don't borrow unnecessarily to spend and leave debt for your future children. So he is spending by spending prudently on things that matter. Our flagship programs are running. Free primary healthcare has been launched, 500 million pumped in there. Ghana Medical Trust Fund, 1.1 billion. Okay. And I can tell you patients that have benefited directly, 1.5 million.
We also have a bite on this.
So I would say that the finance minister is spending and spending rightly.
Okay. All right.
The physical discipline that he's put there is something that we should celebrate and codify in law so that future finance ministers, when they come, can follow that. That will help us develop.
Okay.
Well, we need to have a bite of the
our time is up. There's something. We have had some group behind for long. We took their time. Thank you very much. We've taken 33 minutes above what we were supposed to do. I'm grateful to you. We're also Professor Isaac. Professor Bodi is the Dean of the Faculty of Finance and Accounting, UPSA. Professor Titus BU is MP for Lambusie and a Boche for Kolebu. Bernard Oredo is lawyer and member MPP's communications team.
Your phone only has one job, to keep up with you. But when your camera freezes, your messages arrive late, your video calls keeps breaking, and your battery gives up even before the day begins. Maybe your phone is trying to tell you something. Maybe it's time to get something better. Purchase the phone that keeps up with you during CompuGhana's Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phone festival where top brands meet best prices. From the 27th of July to the 9th of August, enjoy exciting discounts on smartphones from Samsung, Tecno, Infinix, Itel, Vivo, Xiaomi, Huawei, Hotwave, and Doji, plus amazing gifts. CompuGhana has the right choice for you. Visit any CompuGhana showroom or shop online at CompuGhana.com. Call us on 0302-752020 or WhatsApp us on 0243-143-143. Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phones festival. Top brands, best prices. CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park. Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park. Our electric shuttle pulled up, and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown cranes, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults, this price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Cadbury hot chocolate, crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy, chocolatey, frothy goodness, rich taste, so satisfying.
Cadbury goodness, the treats you deserve every day.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time.
From region to region, from citizen to citizen, one conversation, one purpose, protecting Ghana's democracy. The conversation continues from the northern region, where citizens and leaders came together to confront the growing influence of money in politics. The train now makes its next stop at the Volta regional capital of Ho, because protecting our democracy is a shared responsibility. Join the Joy News Impact Makers Foundation for another exciting edition of Democracy is Not for Sale, a regional citizen politician dialogue bringing together citizens, political leaders, governance think tanks, civil society, and the media to examine the impact of illicit political financing and explore reforms that will strengthen Ghana's democracy. Expect our team of researchers between the 27th and the 30th of July in Ho as they solicit your views for a survey ahead of the forum. The forum is on Friday, the 31st of July at the Freedom Hotel at Ho at 4 p.m. It will be live on Joy News, Joy 99.7 FM, myjoyonline.com, and all Joy News social media platforms. Democracy is not for sale. Your vote is your voice.
Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, It's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Welcome to Sulas Enterprise, the shop that deals in industrial machinery such as generators, rice millers, water pumps, compressors, and mowers. From the smallest to the largest capacity, at Sulas Enterprise, we give you nothing but the best from the best brands such as Honda and Perkins. When it comes to our generators, we also sell mowers coming from brands like Honda, Briggs and Straton, and Oleuma. And when it comes to our water pumps, we offer you brands like Lily, Prudin, and Pedrolo water pumps. We also sell rice millers for all capacities. We are located at Spintex, Kakalika Plaza. Also, find our various locations as displayed on screen, or call us on the following numbers: 0243-839-463 or 0554-154-416 or 0240-541-493.
Sulas Enterprise, where quality meets affordability.
Hi. Now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park. Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park. Our electric shuttle pulled up, and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown crane, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults, this price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Your phone only has one job, to keep up with you. But when your camera freezes, your messages arrive late, your video calls keeps breaking, and your battery gives up even before the day begins. Maybe your phone is trying to tell you something. Maybe it's time to get something better. Purchase the phone that keeps up with you during CompuGhana's Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phone festival where top brands meet best prices. From the 27th of July to the 9th of August, enjoy exciting discounts on smartphones from Samsung, Tecno, Infinix, Itel, Vivo, Xiaomi, Huawei, Hotwave, and Doji, plus amazing gifts. CompuGhana has the right choice for you. Visit any CompuGhana showroom or shop online at CompuGhana.com. Call us on 0302-752020 or WhatsApp us on 0243-143-143. Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phones festival. Top brands, best prices. CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Passes, bad referee decisions. Don't let your child's grade suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-50-10175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra, Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
Okay, so let's talk about the creative. And I have in studio someone who is well known in the creative space, and I like his brain. The guy, brainy, he understands the work, you know. George Quay, a CEO of Image Bureau, they have the Guinness Pound of Flesh, and this is inspired by William Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice, and is something that was adapted by the man George Quay. George, good morning.
Yeah, morning. How are we doing?
I'm good. I'm busy at taxi over there.
So
you know the Abuaji name stakes.
No, feel free. I mean, I think I need to add it to my name. I need to. What do I do? One after David.
Exactly.
You know, we're gonna cut.
Anyway, so let's talk about Guinness Pound of Flesh.
Yeah.
I know the inspiration is William Shakespeare's Merchant of. But when I come to the theater, what should I expect?
When we started this theater journey, we decided we would not be like everyone else. We decided we would try to elevate the space. You know, the nature of theater is that you can tell a story today. You can write your own story and tell it today. And we realized there are many people in the space that are doing their own originals, which is a great thing. I mean, shouts to Uncle White and the Roverman team. For many years now, they've been doing Roverman production back-to-back original plays, and it's not easy to pen down a play like that. So we figured, aside the few ones that we would do to conscientize society about something, like the recent one we did with the International Justice Mission on child trafficking in the Volta area, the wet ones, and then the one we partner the Ghana Prison Service and the Fair Justice Initiative to do on prison life in the female prisons, I think some female prisons beyond the walls. We decided we'll just do epics. Because if you are a lover of literature, you'd know that there are many plays that have been written, so many.
Yeah.
So over the years, we've done plays like we did The Gods Are Not to Blame, we did Professor Martin Owusu's The Legend of Akusika, in honor of Ifwa Sutherland on Theatre Week about a year or two ago. I think 2 years ago, we did The Marriage of Adansewa. And so we have taken it upon ourselves to do some of these epics because we realized that if we are not careful, these plays would go unexperienced on stage. Nobody would do them because the temptation to do your own play is always very high. Every time I pick an epic piece that I want to stage, the other side of my brain, why don't you just write your own? Don't you just write your own? You know, so I said, okay, if this desire to write your own is there, why don't we draw inspiration from these epic ones and then see how we can make them Ghanaian? Then again, because you look at a play like The Gods Are Not to Blame when we staged it. Interesting. It is just about one of the biggest adaptations of a Greek piece in Ghana. Because over the years, I have not really experienced or read another epic adaptation at that level. I'm yet to. So I figured, okay, why don't we try something and see how Ghanaians would receive it? So when you come to the National Theatre, you're going to experience Guinness Pound of Flesh. And trust me, it is not the kind of thing you've seen before in theatre. What we've done with Shakespeare's piece, when we finished and we did the read, the table read, the team said, no, there's not an adaptation. Let's just say it's an inspiration.
Okay.
Because we've changed it totally. It does not start like The Merchant of Venice. It does not end like The Merchant of Venice. And Merchant of Venice was written somewhere in 1590 something or 1560 something. A long time ago. This has been set in present day Ghana. And we've selected Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Accra. Okay. And we have a little bit of every tribe represented on stage.
Hey, how about you? If you go there, I'll ask you. You have a bit of every tribe.
A little bit of at least the major tribes from which various lands. So you have Guy in there, you have Chi in there, you have Ewe in there, you have Mountainous represented. There's Fancy there as well. And look, I'm usually not this excited before our plays open, but this, I am super excited about it, and we are super grateful to God. It's turned out way better than what I scripted. Okay. It's turned out way better than what we scripted, and the characters have risen to the occasion. And your question was what you should expect. Expect a lot of magic. Expect a lot of laughter. It's a comedy. And I started my showbiz career with comedy, taxi driver, like you said. So we've got that. And this is truly, truly hilarious. And the good thing is that if you come to the National Theatre, you're sure to identify yourself in there one way or the other.
I have a small plea. Next time, please, we are considering tribe. Consider a hunter for why.
Oh,
bring a hunter.
You see, a hunter, don't they fall within the broader Fante group?
No.
Where do they fall?
Different. We are a hunter.
You are totally a hunter, totally different.
Yes.
Hey. So what language do they speak?
A hunter language.
Doesn't it sound like Fante?
It doesn't. So if I want to say, how are you? I say, Kedia.
That's similar to Nzima.
Exactly, yes. If you say Nzima, I agree with you.
Nzima and Fante are not far.
No, we are far.
Because I speak a bit of Nzima.
Oh, you do?
Yes, a bit of Nzima.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. But please, I would just bring a hunter kakra.
You put me at home.
Hey, don't want to hear the other man.
Moko school, keep course. Moko Fante.
Okay. So what is the why Guyana's pound of flesh?
Great. Now, I attended Fanspoon School, but I did not read literature in Fanspoon School.
Okay.
I was just a lover of the arts. I was a member of the drama club and the cultural society. Now, when I stepped out of Fanspoon School, then I took literature as a private course.
Okay.
And my teacher, I took classes at St. John's Grammar, Mrs. Adom. This was one of the books she made me read because I had to read it for the exam. And as soon as I picked the book, I fell in love with a character called Shylock. And Shylock is like one of the lead characters in Shakespeare's The Gods Are Not to Blame. In Shakespeare's The Gods Are Not to Blame, he's presented as some sort of a villain. But what we have done, we've presented him as a victim of society, as a product of society. What society, like a mirror of society. What you've done to me is what has turned me into what I have become. And Shakespeare played on the religious conflict between Jews and Christians. So when we made a Ghanaian, I figured, what religious conflict are we going to play? Okay, let's play with traditional religion versus Christian religion. Because even when you take the Bible, Christianity condemns traditional religion and idol worshipping a lot. Yeah. From Isaiah 44:9 through, you can find so many texts in the Bible that condemn traditional religion, So I figured this would be a nice conflict to have. And then, of course, we'll be pretending, we'll be hypocrites if we pretend we don't know the existing conflict between Ewes and many other tribes in Ghana. A lot of people have all these conceptions about the Ewe tribe and all of those things. And so I figured, look, why don't we bring Shylock, make him Ghanaian, make him an Ewe. But instead of making him a villain, as in Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice, why don't we make him a product of society? And the kind of ill that society have churned towards a certain group of people, the kind of notions that society have formed about a certain group of people. Let's see how we can use theatre to change that concept, to change that ideology, to change that stereotype, and see how we can make it all fun and exciting. So so that was what led us to Guyana's Pound of Flesh. In all honesty, that was not the original title. And that was not the original idea. The original title was Love and a Pound of Flesh. Because The Merchant of Venice is all about love, and then the court case and the pound of flesh and all that. So we figured we picked Love and a Pound of Flesh. Just before we broke campaign, our big brother and father in the industry, Uncle White, announced this play, and it was Love and Handcuffs. I said, ouch. We are going right after this one. Love and Handcuffs, then Love and a Pound of Flesh. It would not sound, So let's change it. So then we went back to the drawing board, sat at the table again with the team, brainstormed, and when I was working at Charterhouse, there was a friend in the accounts department called Kwesi Guyana. And I said, okay, I love the name Guyana. It sounds strong, it sounds heavy, and it sounds like something that can bring a lot of memories. So why don't we go with it? And Guyana, I did a little research. I realized it means money is going. And I said, okay, this is a story about somebody who went to borrow money. And when it was time to pay back, he said he doesn't want money anymore. The money can go. He wants a pound of flesh instead. So why don't we play with that? So that's what led us to that.
We have to just...
We've got to wrap up. So join us at the National Theatre this weekend, next weekend, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. each day. We're having 2 shows each day. So that's 1st, 2nd, 8th, and 9th. You can get tickets at our website, www.imagebureaugh.com. Or you can dial *714*46#, or follow our social media. Follow Pro Communications social media, the National Theatre on social media, and of course, all the details are there. Like I always say, if you come and you are not blown away, demand a refund. In this case, you can demand a pound of my flesh.
Allah.
You will pay.
What's the day to your neighbor name whom what's Juska? Whatever amount.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right. We'll see you.
Mr. George Kojo, CEO of Image Bureau. This is the AM Show. We'll return with our last conversation. Stay on.
From region to region, from citizen to citizen, one conversation, one purpose, protecting Ghana's democracy. The conversation continues from the northern region where citizens and leaders came together to confront the growing influence of money in politics. The train now makes its next stop at the Volta regional capital of Ho, because protecting our democracy is a shared responsibility. Join the Joy News Impact Makers Foundation for another exciting edition of Democracy is Not for Sale, a regional citizen politician dialogue bringing together citizens, political leaders, governance think tanks, civil society, and the media to examine the impact of illicit political financing and explore reforms that will strengthen Ghana's democracy. Expect our team of researchers between the 27th and the 30th of July in Ho as they solicit your views for a survey ahead of the forum. The forum is on Friday, the 31st of July at the Freedom Hotel at Ho at 4 p.m. It will be live on Joy News, Joy 99.7 FM, myjoyonline.com, and all Joy News social media platforms. Democracy is not for sale. Your vote is your voice.
Greater Works 2026. Speaking, Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Mike Okonko, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, and our conference host, Pastor Mensa Otabil. Date, Monday the 3rd of August to Friday the 7th of August 2026. Morning sessions, Tuesday to Friday. Time, 9 a.m. Evening sessions, Monday to Friday. Time, 5 p.m. each night. Venue, ICGC Christ Temple East. Special song ministrations by Joe Metal, Once More 6, Nathaniel Bassi, Dunsin Oyekan. For more details, visit gwcentral.org. Greater Works 2026. It's coming down.
So let's talk about Greater Works. Yeah, the conference comes off from August 3 to 7th at ICGC Christ Temple, and you know how this is. It's one that you don't want to miss, because that is where really God comes down to address your issues. If you have not been there before, you need to experience it this time around. I have in studio with me Reverend Kojo Amoasari. He's head pastor ICGC Zoe Temple. Pastor, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
And also one man whose event really helped shape us when we were on campus, Springboard Road Show. It was where I discovered, actually, when one man said, if you want to discover your talent, ask yourself one question, and that's it. I never looked back from there. Today I sit down with him. Reverend Albert Okran, head pastor ICGC, the New Wine Temple. Reverend, good morning.
Good to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Yourself?
Very well, Kisley.
Thank you for everything you and your wife did for us way back on campus.
I'll send you a bill. Good to see you.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, as for Greater Works, it's been around for quite some time. How different is it going to be this year?
So, just to say that God has been good to all of us, and at this time in the year, mid-year, many of us will probably sit down and think about how the year has gone, the joys, the tears. But it's also good once in a while to take time off everything that you are doing to reflect and to renew and to restart for the days and the weeks and the months ahead. So Greater Works is a climax of 40 days of prayer and fasting, initially or principally by ICGC, but as you and I know, many people across the world join us to fast and pray. And at the climax of that fast is Greater Works Conference, and it's been running for almost 40 years now. Now, what is different this year is that by its very nature, and just by the name Greater Works, which derives from John 14 verse 12, Jesus challenged us to do greater works than he had done. And so it means that every time we sit to plan the conference, the thinking is, what can we do to make this even bigger than the previous year, just to the glory of God? So this year has a couple of very interesting features for the conference. Of course, the opening night is always very, very elaborate and extravagant in terms of the richness of the experience. So there's an opening ceremony, there's the word from God for the continent by Pastor Otabil, and there's a communion service to end the 40 days of power. That's a very big highlight for this year. There's been an additional musician added this year. The speakers, one was added last year, he's still on again.
Okay.
And then the programming is always elevated to make the experience very memorable for everyone that comes in. So every year's Greater Works adds on to the year before and gives us that experience that you say will live for you for a long time and put you in a good place for the future.
Okay. So it's from the 3rd to the 7th.
Yes.
If I'm coming in, because usually the place is very packed, what's the arrangement this time around to ensure that all of us have an easy entrance, easy way out?
Okay. So like you really rightly mentioned, we have the morning sessions that start at 9 a.m. from Tuesday through to Friday. And the evening session, we have it in the arena. The arena is big.
Okay.
It's very big, so it should be able to contain everybody who decide to come.
Okay.
We've prepared very well for this conference. Like Reverend Albert said, when you look at the concept of Greater Works, at every point in time, we want to beat the previous record. We break barriers with Greater Works year in, year after, because of detail in terms of planning, mobilization, transportation, and we have a lot of coordinating centers. So once we start the planning, each coordinating center will ensure that what they are supposed to do is done. And as we sit here, we are definitely ready to start cake on Monday. It's going to be wonderful.
And Nathaniel is coming.
Nathaniel Bassey,
yeah.
Joe Metal is coming. Once More 6 is coming. The host of ICGC choirs, and Dunsin came last year. He's coming again as well. For the speakers, we have Dr. Mensah Otabel, we have Pastor Matthew Ashimolo, Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Mike Okonko, and Pastor Paul Adifaresin. So these are the speakers, and these are internationally acclaimed speakers. They have God's word in them. They will really enrich our lives if we gather.
Pastor Ashimolo is a regular on Greater Works. And I think
Bishop Mike.
I think
three of them.
Yes, they've been regular on
longer time than Pastor Paul.
Okay. Are we going to have the choir from the other regions? Because last time Takoradi came anyway.
Yes. I like the fact that you are checking with your home region first. One thing about Greater Works is that everybody has a piece of themselves in Greater Works. And this year we are very, very blessed because the big addition, among other things, is a coordinated attendance by delegates from the various regions. By the grace of God, we have an elaborate program in place for your region, the Western region, and all other regions to have their members bused from the region to a chosen venue. They are housed, they are brought to the conference venue and back. And for those of us in Accra, Tema, Kaswa, and surrounding areas in the metropolis, one of the things that people talk about very often is the elaborate busing arrangements. Go to centralgospel.com or greaterworks.org, and you will find out an elaborate busing arrangement in place that you can join from anywhere in the city for free to come to the conference and back. Any of the sessions, both morning and evening.
Okay.
And so for many people, they find it convenient that not only can you attend a conference of this quality and nature for free, you also can be bussed in and out, and that's one of the attractions of Greater Works. So yes, there's free bussing, and the buses are branded. Most of them are Ayalulu buses.
Okay.
That's the GAP team, we call them Ayalulu.
Okay.
The green buses with the Greater Works branding clearly done on them. So you stop them anywhere you are, and you can come to the Greater Works Conference.
We're not paying anything, but we are enjoying free buses.
It's a blessing.
Okay, and we'll have. Let me not ask that one too. If someone is watching us, why should a person be at Greater Works this year?
So one of the reasons you have to be at Greater Works is that, like Reverend Albert mentioned, we have traveled half year. It's important that we refuel and end the year very well. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like the eagle. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and they will not faint. So having fasted for 40 days, the atmosphere is ripe. The presence of the Lord will tabernacle in that space. And I trust that whoever comes to that space will have an encounter with divinity. It's like when you enter a room with a high temperature, obviously you feel warm.
Okay.
And the warmness is not even about you, but it's about the environment and the atmosphere. And having waited on God for 40 days, something supernatural is going to happen. It's going to be spontaneous. It will be spectacular. So I want to encourage every Tom, Dick, and Harriet to be at this meeting. Okay. It's for everybody. Okay. Let's gather at Greater Works this year. And the Lord will give you a visitation of a godly nature and of a godly character.
Finally, I know that it's not everybody who can probably make it there. Are there any other alternative if I'm not able to be there, but I can still follow?
I'm sure you know what I'll say. I'll say if you can and you are in the city or close to the city, be there in person because of the rich fellowship and like you rightly said, the atmosphere. And also the fact that you will, in a big collective, even if you did not fast, you will come away with a personal experience and a word from God. But also mindful that many are listening to us across the world and also from outside the city. We're recommending that they go to our various social media handles, and then also your sister Station Joy Prime will air it so that people can participate in Greater Works. But I would love to meet new people and encounter God with them together. So I'll be still next to you. And we'll enjoy it together.
Thank you very much. Your final words before we get off.
So there are many days in a man's life, but only a few that he will forget. I believe that these 5 days are going to be those moments. I sense within my spirit that the presence of the Lord will tabernacle in our space. The atmosphere will be shifted. Chains will be broken. And the word of God will bring us into a point of transformation. Okay. Please be expectant. The Lord will give you a visitation.
Amen.
I just want to say a big thank you to Pastor and Mrs. Suitable for leading this effort. I just watched them and I'm in awe of the commitment and the passion. I was cracking a joke about the fact that last year the conference was out of this world. And yet on the final day, we got a call for an emergency meeting. And the meeting was, what do you do next year? When you sit under that kind of leadership, you are inspired to always think of Greater Works. And I pray that for someone listening to us who may be going through their own challenge, their own difficulty, their own situation, just this conversation, just being at Greater Works will be that spark, that inspiration that will lift them up out of their challenge and bring them to the place that God will have them be. And that is just my prayer that somebody's life will never be the same again.
Thank you very much. Reverend Albert Okran there is the head pastor of ICGC, the New Wine Temple, also earlier. Reverend Kojo Amuasari, head pastor, ICGC Zoe Temple. This is still the AM show. We'll be back to wrap it up. Stay on.
Works 2026. Speaking, Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Mike Okonko, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, and our conference host, Pastor Mensa Otabil. Date, Monday the 3rd of August to Friday the 7th of August, 2026. Morning sessions, Tuesday to Friday. Time, 9 a.m. Evening sessions, Monday to Friday. Time, 5 p.m. each night. Venue, ICGC Christ Temple East. Special song ministrations by Joe Metal, Once More 6, Nathaniel Bassi, Dunsin Oyekan. For more details, visit gwcentral.org. Greater Works 2026. It's coming down.
what a way to wrap up the show today than to get into the kitchen to know what's cooking there. Now, once again, Big Chef is returning for an exciting 5th season, promising bigger flavors, brighter personalities, and unforgettable moments. After an extensive search, 12 talented young contestants have been selected to showcase not only their cooking skills, but also their creativity, confidence, and passion for food. As they compete for the coveted Big Chef title. This Sunday, viewers will finally get to meet the young chefs who are ready to whisk, chop, bake, and fry their way into the hearts of Ghanaians. And the excitement doesn't end there. In addition to the main competition, every Sunday, audiences can also look forward to diary sessions every Tuesday, where contestants will share their experiences in the house, the inspiration behind their dishes, the challenges they face, and the fun moments that happen behind the scenes. Joining us to tell us more about what promises to be the biggest and most exciting season yet is the host of Big Chef Season 5, Michelle Ejekon, the beautiful Michelle. Michelle, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well. I'm just looking forward to what's coming. Okay, so what's exciting about the seasons?
This season is fun-packed. And this season, we're taking it to a whole new level.
Okay.
Last season, we went out of our way to avoid the usual gas cooking style.
Okay.
And we decided, let's take the kids back to the early 2000s where some of them were not born.
Okay.
And let's see how they could use charcoal to cook. And they
Exciting.
actually did a good job.
Okay.
Trust me. Michelle Ejekon has hosted Big Chef for what, 4 times? But without kerosene and Mephi, I can't turn on a coal. But these kids did it without any struggle. I mean, I usually need help because I'm unable to do it with the woods and but they did it. And they cooked the typical local. We have the local dishes, but then there are some dishes when you taste the locally made dishes, you realize that when you crack some quine.
Yes.
That kind of soup is what.
As
young as 12, 10, 11 years old.
That was during the Abraham Moses.
Yeah, no. That was for the finale. That should be their toughest yet, because I mean, but through it all, they did some baking through the season, and we had some fun as well.
Yeah, because I saw the one with the fathers.
Yes. We had a Father's Day edition as well, where the fathers cooked with their kids.
I loved it.
And the mothers also came in at some point to cook with them. Yeah.
So what should we expect apart from the look-offs? What should we expect really?
Well, this season we're not just looking at. I mean, we've always not just looked at the cooking. But this time around, we're emphasizing more on the special skills that each of them have. And their specialties in terms of their cooking techniques as well.
Okay.
You know, there's some chefs, when it comes to baking, trust them to serve you the best meals when it comes to playing with flour. And others too, when it comes to sugar meals, they're really good. When it comes to frying, deep frying, shallow frying, they know how to get their stuffs really done well. So this season, we're looking at all of that. And we're looking at their confidence as well. You don't just come to cook, you need to defend what you've done.
Okay.
So imagine we're asking you to plate for 1 and your portion size is very huge. Some can make the argument that, well, when you come to my restaurant, because my food is expensive, I try to make sure that the food that you have served in front of you makes sense with the price.
Okay.
That's a way of you defending your food. But maybe the child really wasn't sure what to plate. So we'll be looking at how you're able to defend your meals as well.
Okay.
How you're able to convince the judges of what you've made. Not just with the taste, but how you present it as well.
As we saw the cooking with the fathers.
Yeah.
Will we see something like that this time?
Something like that may not happen, but something extra that we haven't seen on Big Chef so far is what we'll be seeing this season on the show. Yeah. So maybe it may not be fathers, it may not be mothers, but maybe they're persons or something.
Okay. Maybe uncles. Okay, so as we wrap up, what will be your last words to our viewers?
Well, on Sunday, we're launching Big Chef Season 5, and I'll entreat all of you to tune in and enjoy the launch. We're revealing all the 12 contestants that are making their way into the kitchen this season. And it will not just be showing them off. We'll be having some fun as well. For Joy Prime, we love the music and, all of that. So we'll be having a lot of fun this Sunday as we launch Big Chef Season 5. And so please make sure you tune in at 4 p.m. sharp on Joy Prime.
Michelle Adjikun is going to come your way on TV every Sunday with that particular event.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for passing through.
Thank you for having me.
That's a beautiful Michelle Adjikun. And that's how we wrap up the show today. There's much more to come your way here on this channel. I'll close and I will bring you news desk. My name is Samuel Brace. I do this always with MFA Akufo-Addo. Now I say good morning to everyone who watched us. We'll meet again, go late.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.